And we're back. We do apologize for the technical difficulties we had, but once again, it is senior night here at Charles A. Lawson Field, the home of the Southwestern Trojans, as they are hosting the Fredonia Hillbillies here tonight in what should be a game of the week here in Chautauqua, New York, high school football. Once again, Norm Rodriguez here with Colin Wood. And Colin, before the power occurred with the issues with that, you were saying how this could be a low-scoring game, but speaking of that, Southwestern, they won in low-scoring fashion in their last game 15-10, and Fredonia, they're coming off a 41-7 win over Silver Creek Forestville.
And right now, Southwestern is in first place because they beat Salamanca, who Fredonia actually lost to, which is why the Hillbillies are sitting at third place. Even though they have identical overall records, Trojans are undefeated in C-South, Hillbillies are 2-1 right now, but Southwestern's actually looking for revenge for two losses last year. Fredonia got the best of them in the regular season, 27-25, and in the playoffs, 28-21. And we're about to do the national anthem.
Yes, indeed, Colin. So again, Trojans, Hillbillies up next. All right, so once again, that was the national anthem, and as we prepare for the coin toss, we do got the officials for tonight's game between Southwestern and Fredonia. Jim Barber is the head honcho, the referee. Bill Caldwell at the umpire position. Linesman Derek Harper, Colin Melquist, the line judge, and back judge is Aaron Brown. So those are tonight's officials for tonight's game, and we do also got the starting lineups for both teams as well. All I know is the main guy that Southwestern, though, they need to keep an eye on the starting quarterback, Ethan Fry. He's taking over after Nick Whitfield Jr. graduating and moving on to St. Francis. And so far, he's been a dual-threat quarterback, more than 1,000 yards passing, and he's got nearly 300 on the ground as well. So somebody you got to keep an eye out for defensively.
He is a problem on offense. And just to sort of recap both teams' seasons, Southwestern has not looked back ever since that opening loss to Iroquois. They have gone on a tear, averaging over 28 points per game and only allowing 9.8 points per game on defense. And Fredonia's fairly identical to that as well. They average around just over 30 points per game and only give up just shy of 14 points per game. So both of these teams have won in some lopsided victories. One of the things that stands out to me, Norm, is Southwestern in their game against Salamanca. They held Jesse Stallman, who has been on a tear this year, the running back for Salamanca. They held him to 25 yards, and as a team, they held Salamanca to 30 yards. But Fredonia gave up 300 yards on the ground to Salamanca. So I think that ground game, it's going to be a defensive struggle, but we know that Fredonia's going to have to step up in that aspect of the game.
So we're seeing the result of the coin toss, and Fredonia has won it, and they're electing to kick off. So we have seen a lot of teams wanting the ball first when it comes to the coin toss, but we're going to see Southwestern's offense to start off this matchup here between the Trojans and the Hillbillies. And once again, expecting this to be a very hard-fought matchup. And with Southwestern's offense coming up first, we do got the starting lineup for them offensively. Jameson Walsh, the starting quarterback, he's taking over for Ian Kennedy, who's moved on to college. Matt Panis is the running back. Cameron Lemp, one of the dangerous receivers for the Trojans, he's at tight end. The receivers are Chris Miller, Brody Larson, and Griff Bogdanowicz. Matt Burlingame at left tackle, Will Holden at left guard. Paul Hayes snapping the ball to Walsh at center. Tavio Hoos at right guard, and Mitch Pike, the right tackle. And defensively for Fredonia, Ethan Fry, who is the quarterback, he's also playing safety. The corners are Keegan Whitfield and Field. Glave, White, Cash, and Davis are the linebackers. And the front four are Atzrott, who's had a very dangerous year. He's got 8 sacks in the season, far and away the team leader in that, along with Rush, Price, and Story.
So for Southwestern, they're going to be receiving the opening kickoff. Their offense, they've been decent over the year, but their defense has helped them out in a massive way, forcing 21 turnovers on the year, Norm. Take a guess at how many of those are fumble recoveries.
15.
Out of those 21. 18 fumble recoveries, that is.
So I was close.
You were close, not far off. The other 3 interceptions, but huge special teams plays and just stout defense for the Trojans will help kickstart an offense that doesn't put up massive numbers, while on the other side, Fredonia, they really put up nice numbers on offense. 191 yards on the ground and 217 through the air per game.
And a near putting total leather went through the legs, and that hit off the return man. So that's going to go where it is spotted. The 2 deep men were Panis as well as Brody Larson. The kickoff dribbled, hit off Larson's legs, so that is where it's going to be. And very fortunate that it's past the 10-yard line because that could have been a lot worse.
And this is going to be a long field to start for the Trojans offense. It is Jamison Walsh starting at quarterback tonight. He's coming off a 7 of 11 for 99-yard performance through the air against Salamanca. Also had 41 on the ground and a touchdown. Owen Hayes did see action in that game, but Coach Burkholder electing to go with Walsh to start out tonight.
Yeah, and Walsh last year, he was mainly the Wildcat quarterback, but he also played a lot of running back as well. So this is his first year as a starting quarterback. He's got 4 wides, 2 on each side, and he is in the pistol formation to start this off, and it's a fake. Walsh looking to throw. Here comes the rush, and he's sacked right off the bat. Ball's loose. Went on the turf. Let's see who got it. And a Fredonia player came up with the ball, but let's see what it is. And according to a ref's indication, it looks like it's going to be 2nd down and long.
Trojans very fortunate to come up with that. It looked like they were trying to set up a screen, and I like the call, first play of the game, but that was relentless pressure. And this Fredonia defense, they are ankled by Samuel Atzrott, and he on the year has 9 sacks and 8 tackles for loss. He is the leading tackler by a country mile. Southwestern's going to have to do a good job of blocking him up front, and they're going to have a hard time trying to get outside. They can do that with good blocking, though.
From what I saw at that play, though, it looked like it was a mishandled transfer and a handoff, but the sack was a 7-yard loss. 3 wides, Panis set in motion, and Walsh is going to keep it. Trying to find some space, he'll get it to roughly the 6-7 yard line. So able to get a little breathing room for Southwestern, and if Fredonia can get a 3-and-out defensively to start it off, you're doing a pretty good job.
And you're setting up a dangerous offense with potentially a short field, too.
So a 2-yard gain by Walsh. It's 3rd down and 15. This is definitely a throwing down. And from my view of trajectory, looks like the ball's at roughly the 9-yard line.
And this is an obvious passing down. On the year, Fredonia has had a hard time stopping the run, but they only give up 62 yards a game in terms of passing. So really a no-fly zone in that secondary. And right now you just got to keep everything in front of you.
And also, they probably play teams that love to run the ball a lot as well, though. That's another factor. As Walsh will look to throw in the shotgun. Here comes the rush, gets away from it, looking. He's going to throw one up for grabs. It's incomplete. That was intended for Chris Miller, and he had him open, but the ball was overthrown.
Yeah, he had Chris Miller on the corner route, and he beat his defender there. That was number 12, Tim Field. Unfortunately for Walsh, he's rolling out. Never really got his feet set, and that one just happened to sail on him. So great start to this game for the Fredonia defense, and we'll see if they can cash in on the early 3-and-out.
And it looks like Walsh is going to be punting as well. The 2 deep men for Fredonia, they are Whitfield and Micah Davis. It's 4th down and 15. Here comes the punt. Oh, that's a nice kick. And Whitfield just going to let it go, and it's going to get a decent Trojan bounce. However, though, Fredonia is going to start in Southwestern territory with starting quarterback Ethan Fry taking the reins offensively. And speaking of that, here's the starting offense for Fredonia. Fry is obviously the starting quarterback. Micah Davis, the running back. The receivers are Quinn, Whitfield, Field, and Hawk. And the front 5 of the O-line, Cash at left tackle, Story at left guard, Price the center, Coosdale the right guard, and Rush is the right tackle. So that's the starting offense for Fredonia. And defensively, Brody Larson at safety. Bogdanowicz, Kennedy are the 2 corners. The 4 linebackers are Holbrook, Hayes, Pike, and Panis. And the front 4 are Miller, Burlingame, Hoos, and Lemk.
An interesting fact, Norm, Ethan Fry actually moved from wide receiver to quarterback earlier this season.
Yeah, he was a wide receiver for a couple years, but here's a give right off the bat to Davis, and he's got more than enough for a first down, gets it to the 36-yard line. So wasting no time with that draw play, and Fredonia going in a bit of a semi-hurry up.
Davis has had a monster year as well. He averages over 7 yards a carry. He's just shy of 500 yards total and 5 touchdowns. He's coming off a 100-yard performance last week against Silver Creek Forestville.
So pistol formation here for the Hillbillies. Fry throwing a quick pass. It is complete. Oh, not handled cleanly. Jay Hawk had the ball in his grasp, but wasn't able to hold on as he brought the ball down to his breadbasket.
Yeah, and one thing about Fry, Norm, he moves militant in that pocket. Right now, he completes 2/3 of his passes on the year, and like we were talking about pregame for high school, that is electric.
So 2nd down and 10 for Fredonia. They are at Southwestern's 36-yard line. Southwestern in the 4-3 alignment. Fredonia in the pistol, and Davis will be set in motion, and low snap. Fry's able to just fall on it, and that's the smart thing to do. Better just fall on it and take a loss than turn the ball over.
So some early miscues here in this one, Norm, to start out for both teams offensively. I wonder if it's a case of nerves or both teams just understanding what's at stake in this game and what's on the line and how much this game means to a potential playoff spot and where they're going to be once that time of year comes.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 15. It was a 5-yard loss on that bobbled snap. And it looks like there's going to be some quick substitutions coming in for the Hillbillies. It's going to be 4 wides, 2 on each. And Southwestern, they're showing the cover 3. Fry in the pistol again, and he'll look to throw, hanging in the pocket, looking. He's going to go downfield. He's got a man, Whitfield, and hits off his hand. It was a tad high, and I don't know if Whitfield would have been able to catch that anyway.
Yeah, Keegan Whitfield is one of the top targets for Fry on the year. He is by far the leading receiver, over 465 yards and 4 touchdowns. Right now, both quarterbacks a little shaky, but that's another good stop for the Southwestern defense. They flipped the field, and that is a key to the game for the Southwestern defense. Their defensive backs are going to have to win the game, cover these guys on the outside that are very deadly, and that can eventually lead to coverage sacks.
Owen Rush has been the punter for Fredonia the last couple of years. He's got a cannon for a foot. Nearly blocked, but look at the hang time that's going to occur on this one. Pan is signaling for a fair catch. The ball does take a Trojan bounce, and it'll stop at around the 24-yard line. And the number one rule of thumb, though, when it comes to those balls rolling on those punts, you usually yell out a word to get away. The top ones are either poison or grenade. So Southwestern with another opportunity to get some points on the board. It'll be 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 25-yard line. So Southwestern going in a trip to the right.
And both of these teams run the 4-4-3 on defense. They like to keep a lot of guys in the box, get pressure inside, and they trust their guys in the back end.
And it's going to be a give on the draw, but nothing going for it as there's a wall of Hillbilly defenders. Looked like the give was to Panis.
And these are two very experienced teams, Norm. They both return a lot of guys on offense and defense. And these kids from each team, they know each other well. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of trash talk tonight. Emotions are going to be high. One thing you have to maintain is your composure.
Oh, for sure.
Don't lead to any personal fouls or unnecessary penalties, and just stay in front of the sticks.
Yep. Fredonia, they're playing a Southwestern team. Their last 3 games, they've held to opponents to only 10 points, including a 2-game stretch where they had back-to-back shutouts. But right now, Walsh is in the empty backfield, and he's got a stack on the right side. Walsh will look to throw, hanging in the pocket. Here comes the rush. Here comes the blitz. Here's the throw, and incomplete. On charging, though, on the blitz for Fredonia, that was number 20, Samuel Atzrott.
And I'm sure Coach Burkholder this week watched plenty of film on Atzrott. I would imagine if they roll Walsh out, they're going to be rolling away from him, or if they elect to run, they're going to be running it to the opposite inside gaps or the opposite outside gaps.
And with the receiving, the one guy that Fredonia needs to keep an eye on, he has 14 catches and 4 touchdowns, and that's Cameron Lemp, the tight end. He's also averaging 13.5 yards a reception.
So for Fredonia, the other defensive end, Owen Rush, expect a lot of plays coming your way. Just be ready on that edge.
And here comes Rush. Quinn escaping the pocket for a moment, but it gets sacked. There's a late flag as well. I'm wondering if somebody grabbed Walsh by the face mask as he went down. It was right as the sack occurred. So, it's going to be offensive holding, and it looks like Fredonia is going to pin him back. And again, it's not always a 10-yard penalty. It's at the spot plus the yardage. But it looks like Fredonia is going to decline it. I agree with that. Force the 4th down, take the sack.
So far, 7:47 left in the first. We've had about 9 plays, and this will be the 3rd punt already. Like we said, Norm, I don't know if it's going to be a CSP Portville situation where the final score is 9-3, but points are going to be hard to come by. These are 2 great defenses.
Oh, look at that punt, though, by Walsh. Whitfield chasing it down, fields it at around the 32. He follows a trail of blockers. He gets to the 40, and he'll get tackled to the sideline at around the 44, so a 12-yard return by Whitfield. So nice punt return and good field position once again for Fredonia. But what a pump, though, by Walsh.
And one of the keys to the game for Fredonia on offense is get Ethan Fry involved in the pass and the run game. Don't have him be one-dimensional. Keep the Southwestern defense on the field. And also just try and stretch the defense because Southwestern's going to keep everything underneath. They will take away everything deep, but luckily you have 2 insane weapons on the outside, number 5, Jameson Quinn, and number 6, Keegan Whitfield.
Yeah, Keegan Whitfield, from looking at his stats, mainly the slot guy, averaging a little more than 10 yards a catch. That ball's tipped in the air and incomplete. From my view, it looked like it was Jay Hawk trying to just bat that ball to the ground to avoid a tip drill interception. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. So it looks like we got a score update as well. Medina's up in their game 7-0 with a little under 9 minutes left in the first quarter as it's 2nd down and 10 for Fredonia. Fry with 4 wide outs, sending 1 man in motion, and it's going to be a give to Davis. He's got a big gap. He's deep in the Trojan territory. He's down the sideline to the 30, and he gets knocked out of bounds at around the 27-yard line. So that's going to be a 29-yard run, and chain gang, move those chains. It's a 1st down for Fredonia.
That's the 2nd time Micah Davis has broken one. Just a simple inside zone up that B gap and great blocking up front from the Fredonia offensive line. Right now, that's the only sort of offense we've seen so far in this game, but now Fredonia's in striking distance.
Yeah, Davis is the team's leading rusher, and he also has a share for the lead in rush touchdowns with Fry with 5 apiece as he gets another carry and takes it past the 25-yard line. Again, the old gang tackling between Southwestern and Fredonia. So we're nearing the halfway point, though, in the first, and Fredonia, they're the first team to get really deep into opposing territory. They have a chance to get some points on the board. Southwestern showing the blitz. Fry will throw and looking, rolls outside the pocket, still looking. Here comes a throw. It's caught and breaks 1 tackle and go to the end zone for a touchdown. That's number 5, Jameson Quinn, one of the 2-headed monsters of the receiving game for Fredonia. That's his 4th. The Hillbillies draw first blood 6-0. What a catch, but what an even greater yak the yards after the reception.
That was Ethan Fry to keep that play alive, but an even better job by Jameson Quinn. He ran the deep route, realized his quarterback was in trouble, and came back for a safety valve just to give him a target to throw to. Even though he was 15, 20 yards down the field, makes a great catch, turns it up in for an early score. Right now, Fredonia striking first, and they put the pressure back on Southwestern.
And Tabone, who's actually a soccer player for the Hillbillies, is set to kick the PAT. Snap, put down, kick on the way, and that's a beauty. Right down Broadway, good. So Fredonia up first 7-0 with 6:37 left in the first quarter, and Southwestern about to prepare their kick return unit. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but more action coming up between Southwestern and Fredonia right after this.
more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn.
And we're about to resume action here between the Hillbillies and the Trojans on WNY Athletics. Again, it's senior night here at Charles A. Lawson Field. And Fredonia ahead 7-0 after Fry's touchdown pass to Keegan Whitfield to give the Hillbillies first blood 7-0 as Southwestern will look to answer that touchdown given up.
Yeah, and so far the first two drives for Southwestern, their offense has struggled to even pick up yardage. They could use a huge play on special teams just to shorten the field right now for a team that only averages around 223 total yards of offense for the game. It's pretty even between pass and rushing.
Again, Anier's going to be booting it for the Hillbillies. And this is a poocher, and it's right in the no-man's land, and it goes out of bounds. It goes out of bounds at around the 20 or the 38-yard line.
And that is a play that, if executed, it does work, that little pooch kick, because then you get one of the front guys end up returning the ball. You don't want – sometimes you want to kick it away from the guys who are back deep. They're typically dangerous. That's why they're back there, for a purpose. But that one just happened to shank, and like I said, now Trojans have great starting field position. We'll see what they can do with it.
And another thing, too, is if none of them go for it, the kicking team can recover it because it's live after 10 yards. So it's going to be first down and 10 for the Trojans. Trailing 7-0, 6:37 left in the first, and a four-wide set for Southwestern. A 4-3 alignment for the Hillbillies as Walsh, he's going to throw on the fake. That is complete. It's to Cameron Lemk, and he'll get it to about the 42-yard line. And another score update, Jamestown, they're playing Frontier. The Red Raiders are up right now 20-0, and that's after the first quarter. And they're led by Trey Drake, who's broken the passing yard and passing touchdown record for the Red Raiders so far this season. This is his senior year, and he'll be going to North Dakota State, the alma mater of Trey Lance and Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Norm, having a guy like Cameron Lemk on your team really makes you feel better as a quarterback. He's really the Travis Kelce of the team. He's a great blocker, but he's also a deep threat in the passing game.
Pan is set in motion. Lemk is in the slot as Walsh is going to keep it on a design sweep, and he'll get it to about the 46-yard line. It looks like it will be enough to move the chains. And we got another score update. Albion's playing Cheektowaga 3/4 of the way through the first. Albion's up 14-8. And it was a 38-yard field goal by Warburton. Or 38-yard run, excuse me. And that gives them the all-time rushing lead and tied for touchdowns as well. But that's for the Cheektowaga Warriors. As it's first down and 10 for Southwestern. 5.5 left and counting in the first. Walsh in the pistol. Again, the 4-3, 7 in the box for the Hillbillies as Quinn will look to throw, staying in the pocket, looking. He's going to throw a high one up for grabs and almost intercepted. It was intended for Lemk, but also there on the defense was Ethan Fry. He does also play safety.
And I know some people might disagree with me, but I don't mind the throw by Walsh because you are throwing that to Cameron Lemk. He's a really tall tight end. He can go up and make a jump catch like that. And in this game especially, you're going to have to make plays like that just to keep drives alive, really miraculous plays. I know that's a tough throw. He's falling back, throwing away, trying to throw it to his left on a deep corner route. Fortunately for him, it was incomplete, but they're just going to have a steady two-dimensional offense and mix up the looks that they give the Fredonia defense when they decide to run Walsh.
They do got a two-back set right now. It's going to be a give to Matt Panis, but stopped right away by the front line of Fredonia. And the main guy was Simon Price on the tackle. So it's going to be third down and long for the Trojans. It'll be third down and about 12. Definitely a throwing down here for the Trojans as Walsh will get the play call. Again, they're coached by Jake Burkholder. He's been the head coach since J.U. Kalkrick moved on to Michigan to work for Zenith. And, of course, Fredonia is led by Greg Sherlock.
Hillbillies coming off a 10-1 year last year. They beat Southwestern in the section semifinals, eventually lost to Medina in the Class C section final. But Two powerhouses that are always good, and when they play each other, it's a great game.
And here's a throw by Walsh. Oh, almost picked off. It's caught by Lemke, but it's going to be well short of the first down. That was dangerously close to being picked off by Micah Davis, and Lemke able to snag it, and that does give Walsh a little bit more room to get the punt off.
And Fredonia's playing this smart defensively. They know that if a play breaks down, they're sending their edge rushers, but they know if a play breaks down, Walsh is going to look to escape and try and find some green grass up the middle, but they're keeping guys on him. They don't want to let him get a free running lane just to pick up an easy first down. So great coaching on Coach Sherlock's part.
Oh, that punt may have been deflected, but it does get a good bounce. Whitfield's going to field it, and reversing the field, gets to the 30, and that's where he's going to get stopped by Panis. So a decent return there by Keegan Whitfield. It'll be at the 31-yard line, first down and 10 for Fredonia. 3:33 left in the first, the triple trace.
And another score update. The Golden Cougars of Cassadaga-Faulkner Maple Grove lead Dunkirk 21-6 right now, as Quantier Nealard actually returned the kickoff all the way for a touchdown. Extra point was blocked. 5:46 in the first in that one.
The Golden Cougars, they have shown terrific improvement the last couple of years. They mainly run the triple option ground and pound offense, and that's led by Dalton Caldwell, who's been putting up monster numbers for them this season. And we were actually on call for their homecoming game a couple weeks ago where they defeated Olean.
So Southwestern's given up some big runs here. I'm sure Fredonia's going to try and go back to that, but like we said, Southwestern, they forced 21 turnovers on the year, and obviously every time they've won the turnover battle, they've won the game. They're going to have to force a few tonight. And
it's going to be a give to Davis again, getting away from a couple defenders, breaks away from another, and gets to the 40-yard line before being tackled down on the play by Colton Holbrook. And the referee indicates it's a first down.
And just from these few runs already, what I've seen from Davis is that he's patient, but once the blocks get set up and they develop for him, he hits that hole hard and with passion, and he's fearless. Running downhill north and south, able to pick up a couple first downs now with some big gains.
Same alignment for Southwestern, and it's going to be a toss sweep over to Davis, trying to find some space, and a good job by him, though, to at least get a yard, because the way the defense was pursuing it, because they pursued it perfectly, it looked like that could have been a loss of yardage.
And I know this sounds really weird, Norm, but what makes some of the best running backs is how can you turn a loss of 5 or a loss of 6 play into back to line of scrimmage or 1 or 2 yard gain. You know, avoiding those negative yards, making a couple guys miss in the backfield, just so you don't set your offense up in a worse position.
Well, right now, Fry in the pistol, Whitfield set in motion. It's going to be another give to Davis, and he finds a small gap, gets it past the 45, and one of the guys in the tackle for Southwestern was number 66.
Right now, Fredonia content to keep running the ball as long as Southwestern can't stop it, but that was a nice play on second down there. Set up third down, great pressure on the interior, and right now they have been losing the battle at the line of scrimmage. Fredonia's getting great blocking up front. They're just going to have to fight harder, really take away. It's up to the D-line to take away some of the O-line, free up those linebackers to rush those gaps.
So Fredonia in an empty backfield. Fry's going to try and keep it. Evades a couple of tacklers, but he's going nowhere. Gets stopped behind a line of scrimmage, and that was by Paul Hayes, number 51, as we have less than 2 minutes left in the first, and it looks like they're going to punt it away. And again, it's going to be Owen Rush going to be putting total leather for this boot. And Southwestern, they got 2 deep men back. They are Panis as well as Larson.
That's a huge stop for the Trojans. If Fredonia were to go up 14-0 hypothetically in this game, that would be what might not seem like a big hole, but it would be, particularly when your offense is having a hard time getting it going.
Here comes the boot. It takes a bounce, and it does go past the 20, and it'll stop at around the 18-yard line. So a nice punt there by Owen Rush, and it got down for Fredonia by Peyton Glave.
And 2 minutes have gone by. Another bang-bang play. The Cougars return the favor. Dalton Caldwell with a 75-yard house call. Make that 28-6 Cassadaga-Faulkner Maple Grove as of now. So they trade kick returns there.
From calling a couple of their games, that triple option offense, it can be a bit mesmerizing because when you have a big lead, you can milk the clock. That's the main pro of running that style of an offense.
I don't know what's more demoralizing than returning a kick just to have that right back in your face.
There have been back-to-backers before, as Walsh is going to keep it on a quarterback draw and gets it to roughly the 20-yard line as we have less than 1 minute left in the first.
And right now, Fredonia's ready for that all day. They've watched plenty of film on the Southwestern offense. What they're going to do is just keep everything in front of them. They're going to force Walsh to try and throw it deep. He's very accurate, but they set up a lot of short throws, a lot of screens, get it to their playmakers. But I'd like to see them take some deep shots with Lemk and Panis on the outside, see what they can do. We know that Lemk can win jump balls. He's done it plenty of times over the course of the season.
And looking at the rushing numbers, though, for Southwestern, Walsh is the second leading rusher, but the yards per carry is a bit on the lower side. He's only averaging 3.6 with 58 carries for 209 entering the game. As he'll look for Lemke, he does make the catch, but he's not going anywhere. He got stopped right away on it, and the guy in the stop was Ethan Fry, as that looks like it'll be the final play of the first quarter with Fredonia up 7-0 over Southwestern here at Charles A. Lawson Field. But we'll be back for the second quarter right after this on WNY Athletics.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
And we're about to start the second quarter. We've got yet another score update in the Golden Cougar game. Matt Welsh runs it in for a touchdown. 4 minutes left in the first quarter. The score's 35-6. This is like Doug Williams in Super Bowl 22. 35 points in the second quarter. Wow.
Yeah, the Cougars coming off a barn burner loss to Maryvale. If I am correct, the score is 13-7. Right now, Maryvale undefeated, the toughest team in B2. They are the team to beat. I'd put my money on it that the Cougars are going to see them again in the playoffs.
Oh, and it should be a defensive battle because the Golden Cougars, they came very close to pulling an upset W, but they can still get in the postseason. I can see the Golden Cougars going deep in it if they can keep playing like they have been, as it's going to be 3rd down and 3 yards to go for Southwestern, and they're in a two-back set. Walsh in the pistol. Here's a snap. It'll be a give to Panis, and he's not going to get it. He'll be lucky if he got a yard. And just like Walsh, Panis, he's averaging less than 4 yards a carry. He's averaging 3.5 coming in on 78 rushes. However, he does lead the team in rush touchdowns with 5, so he does make them count.
And we've seen some conservative play calling so far from Southwestern. Right now, it's one-on-one man coverage outside for the receivers. Griff Bogdanowicz was here on the near side, had all that space, could have ran an in route, really anything on the route tree for that matter, and potentially beat his man. But they elect to go with a run and results in a 4th down. Now Fredonia, once again, great field position.
Yep, Walsh with another punt, and it'll die at around the 43-yard line. So here's a chance for Fredonia to make this a 2-possession lead. They are ahead 7-0, 11-13 left in the half. So coming in are the offense and defense for the teams respectively. So while we're waiting for the action to occur, there was a record that was broken for, or I beg your pardon, we'll hold off on that for just a moment. Medina, they are ahead 28-0 in their game with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. So we've got some offensive powerhouses going on in quarter one for a couple games. As Fry is in the pistol with 4 wides. Man set in motion. It's going to be a give to Davis. Davis evades one defender momentarily, but Panis there on the assist. So it's going to be minimal yardage. The main guy in the tackle was Cameron Lemk. Well, while didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
They're two of the main guys on defense, actually, that made that tackle. Panis is the leading tackler, 35 total, and Lemke leads the team in sacks with 3 on the year.
So it's going to be 2nd down 10. It was no gain on the play. Fry will look to throw, staying in the pocket, looks, still looking. He's going to go downfield for Whitfield, but it's incomplete. So while we wait for the next down, and Orchard Parks win their 42-0 victory this week, their starting quarterback, Ben Gasella, he just broke 2 records, one for most pass touchdowns for the school for a career and the most in the game. He's got 62 touchdowns total, and he had 6 in the game in their 42-0 victory. So congratulations to him on that record for the school. Always big accomplishments.
Great coverage on the back end there by the Trojans, and if they can keep doing that, if they can keep buying their defensive line enough time, they're eventually going to get to Fry. But right now, that offensive line for the Hillbillies, as we're going to have an offsides penalty here.
Yeah, he was lined up over the line of scrimmage. That was Tavio Hoos. He was set and ready. He didn't jump over, but his body was way past the ball. So this will loosen up Fredonia a little bit. It'll go from a 3rd and 10 to a 3rd and 5. And with that, you can even give a handoff to Davis on it. It is manageable yardage where you can give it to him on a draw, or if you want to send Whitfield in motion again, give it to him on a sweep.
And with right now, the way your defense is playing, this could be 4-down territory.
And it will be a give to Davis. He'll cross midfield, but it's going to be short of the 1st down. Let's see what Fredonia does here. It is 4th down and short.
Based on that play call, you would assume they would go for it, try to make it a shorter 4th down, but it looks like they are exchanging the offense for the special teams. If I'm Southwestern, I am dropping back in coverage right around that 1st down marker just to be ready for any kind of trickeration here. You never know what's going to come.
Yeah, it was a 3-yard gain by Davis. It'll be a 4th and 2. And it looks like he's there as the up back for this punt. Maybe it's also to pin Southwestern back. That's not a bad idea either. You don't want to give them great field position, as this is a nice punt by Rush. It's got the high hang time, and it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. So the punt was a little too good. So 9:40 left in the half, and Southwestern with a chance to get a touch on the board and possibly tie the game. The score still 7-0. And while we wait for the next possession, Week 5 nominees this week for the Trench Trophy, the Battle of the Trenches. One of the guys for Fredonia was named this week. Matt Cash from South Park, Isaiah Collins from Bennett, Xavier Goodman, Aiden Matias from Hamburg, a guy from Southwestern, Mitch Pike, Evan Stencil from Lancaster, and from St. Joe's, Chris Williams, the Week 5 nominees for the 2022 Trench Trophy.
I got to say, Norm, I know you've done more games than me, but you ever seen a lineman for the punter?
Yes, and kickoffs. For Randolph last year was Ryan Carpenter.
Rush has a great leg.
So it's going to be a give to Panis. There's a flag on the play in the vicinity of holding.
And an additional flag as well, as Panis was brought down. That was right there as he was tackled. It looks like that's either going to be a face mask or a horse collar.
But quickly, 2 score updates. Bennett and Lancaster, the 1st quarter just ended. That's nothing. Williamsville East against West Seneca West. West Seneca West is up 7-6.
So we could potentially have offsetting penalties here. You called out that hold, but then we have a flag right there on the sideline as Panis was brought down. But this Fredonia defense, they're setting the edge. I mean, Panis had nowhere to go on that run. He was just running east and west, no lanes for him to turn it upfield.
So it's going to be a holding on Southwestern and a face mask on Fredonia. So those are going to offset, and the down will be done over.
Huge break for the Trojans. Otherwise, they're backed up potentially inside their own 5-yard line.
So 1st down and 10 again at their own 20-yard line. And it's going to be pistol formation once again for Southwestern. Fredonia showing the blitz, and Walsh is going to keep it on a designed QB sweep. Finds a bit of space and gets it to about the 22-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard gain.
And that might be the only way that they can really set the tone in terms of running outside. You saw what I like to call the fun bunch, the tight trips right near the offensive linemen. All of them lead blockers trying to set the outside, so Walsh can either get out there or have some real estate to cut back inside. But even all those blockers in front, and they only picked up 2 yards.
We do got a quick update, though. Jamestown, they're heading their game over Frontier 27-0 with the first half winding down, as this is a 2nd down and 9 here. Walsh in an empty formation. He will send Lemkin, or no, excuse me. That was a different man in motion. But here's a screen anyway to Panis. Panis will get it to the 30, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets it to about the 34-yard line. And what they did was they sent Larson in motion this time, probably to keep the defense guessing. Dumped it off and got more than enough for the first down.
And Panis delivered a shot to the Fredonia defender. Can't quite see who that is, but young man is down on the field right now. Looked like he got popped sort of in the helmet and neck area. Clean hit. We hope he's okay, but great job there by Walsh finding the open safety valve on the outside. Get your playmakers out in space. Let them pick up the easy yards, but at some point, sooner or later, that's not going to work all game. They're going to have to take some deep shots.
With that, Colin, we're going to take a quick commercial break with this injury, but more action coming up on WNY Athletics.
Yeah, he took a shot.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide.
So it's going to be first down for Southwestern with them behind 7-0, and we do got a quick score update. 42 points in the first quarter for Casadega, Maple Grove, and Falconer, the Golden Cougars, as it's 42-6 with 2 minutes left in the first quarter, as this is going to be a running play but a flag thrown. And we got another update as well. Just started the second quarter. Medina up in their game 42-0. And that's turning into an offensive bar burner for the Mustangs.
So we saw the same play, that tight formation, that tight trips, this time just to the opposite side, and it was the same play, just different side. And I wonder if they're eventually going to throw out of that right now, kind of lull Fredonia to sleep with a run and then eventually dump one over their heads.
So again, with the holding, it's not always a typical 10-yard penalty. It's at the spot plus the yardage. Sometimes it's less than 10. Sometimes it's way more than 10. As they're going to be pinned back at their 28-yard line after the penalty. It will remain first down, though, for the Trojans, and the clock will continue to run. Walsh getting the play ready for Southwestern, and they'll break the huddle.
Right now, that's a huge mistake for the Trojans. They have 36 yards of total offense so far here, partway through the second quarter, and 35 of those 36 through the air have not been able to get the run game going.
A bunch formation on the left side for the Southwestern Trojans. Here's the throw. That is complete, but it's going to be for minimal yardage. It was caught by Chris Miller, but again, Fredonia, they've been on the tight coverage a little bit, and what they've done well is when the receiver catches the ball for Southwestern, they're making the tackle right away and no additional yardage given up.
And that Hillbilly defense was not fooled at all that time on the screen. They see Walsh dropping back deep, offensive lineman releasing, the defensive lineman stayed home. They know what happens on that play. They're smart guys there on the line. They were ready for it just to keep it for a minimal gain.
So Southwestern breaking the huddle. Will be second down and 15, and they're going to go in an empty backfield this time. They've got a trips on the far side, 2 wide on the near side. Walsh takes a snap. He'll look to throw. In the pocket still. He's going long downfield. He's got a man, but it's incomplete. It was intended for Brody Larson, and he was also covered by 2 different Fredonia defenders. So it's going to be third down and 15 for Southwestern. 7:01 left in the half, and Fredonia up 7-0 still.
And from what I saw from that route concept there on the far side there's 3 receivers, and it looked like they were all sort of in the same area. You know, it's straight up man coverage right now from Fredonia. 5 guys there, all had hat on a hat in terms of the receivers, but looked really bunched right there. So you had a couple defenders, and Walsh thrown into traffic, just overthrew him that time.
Shotgun again. Flag on the play in the vicinity of holding. Here's a throw, and into no man's land, incomplete. Again, the flag's thrown in the vicinity of holding, and if you're Fredonia, if it's on Southwestern, you decline this. Make them punt the ball. So it's going to be an illegal shift on Southwestern, so that's not going to, or it will be declined. So it's going to be 4th down for Southwestern, and Whitfield's going to go back for the punt. And again, Walsh is going to boot it. He is the quarterback punter, and Southwestern also did that with Ian Kennedy as well.
And the young man, he just needs to get his confidence up right now. You know, you see him kind of putting his head down. We know he's able to make those throws. He's really just got to step into them and fire it.
So the punt by Walsh, it goes to the Fredonia's 46, 47-yard line approximately. 6:41 left in the half, and Fredonia another chance to make this a 2-possession ball game. They are up 7-0. And while we wait for the next offensive play momentarily, when we do have the time for it, we also got the Week 5 Connolly Cup nominees as well, besides the Trench Trophy, as Fredonia is about to break the huddle. And Fredonia, they're going to go on a trips on the near side and 2 wides on the far side, or 1 wide on the far side, excuse me.
I can imagine they might just be spreading out to feed it to Davis right now. Heavy dose of their 85, 62 on the ground.
And it looked like it was McKinney on the catch. It's going to be more than enough for the first down. Oh, it was complete to number 5, Jamison Quinn. He's got the only touchdown of the game.
And we've seen Fry miss a couple throws here and there. A couple got away from him, but that touchdown was a strike, and that one was right on the numbers in the breadbasket at well. If he gets in a rhythm, it's going to be dangerous for the Trojan defense.
This will be a give. Yes, it is a give to Davis. He's got a gap, and he loses his balance just beyond the 20-yard line. Gets down at around the 21, and if he's able to maintain his footing, that could be one of the house. But while we wait for the next play, another game going on. West Seneca West against Williamsville East. West Seneca West up 7-6 with less than 2 minutes left in the half. As Fry going in the shotgun again. 4 wides, 2 on each side. Here's a snap. Fry looking to throw. Staying in the pocket, looking. He might take off and scramble. He can run. He'll throw it away. Because he was outside the pocket. That was a rule that did be changed for high school football here in New York. If you're outside the pocket, you can throw it anywhere you want and not get grounding as long as it's beyond the line of scrimmage.
And you know, Norm, if Fry didn't get flushed out there that time by Chris Miller, he had Davis wide open coming out of the backfield on the wheel route. There was no one within a 10-yard vicinity of him. But that's a great play by Miller just to flush him out, and great coverage on the back end. It's a tough test for the Trojan defense. They're bending so far. They just got to hold up deep in their own territory, try not to break.
And this is going to be a give to Davis. He will cross the 20, and he'll get it to about the 18-yard line after being brought down by a gang of Trojans. And 2 of the main ones on the stop were Hayes, as well as number 70, Will Pavlock. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 for Fredonia. They are in field goal range. If they weren't not to get anything this next play, it would be about a 37-yard field goal, and Tabone is their kicker. He's also a soccer player for Fredonia as well. Oh, somebody jumped offside for Southwestern, so it's going to make it. The yardage should result in a 1st down because it was 3rd down and 5. And that's a big penalty by Southwestern.
Yeah, that was number 70, Will Pavlock. Just got a little antsy right there, and, you know, that's what they used to tell the defensive linemen all the time, you know, just watch the ball. You know where it is. You don't know the snap count. So as soon as that ball moves, as soon as you see the hand motion of the center go back, shoot the gap.
So it's going to make it a 3rd and 1, so there wasn't enough yardage by inches for it to result in a first. So 3rd and a yard, and Fry's going to give it off to Davis, and it looks like he got it. So it is enough for a 1st down. You don't need a lot. You just need enough, and Davis got enough. So the Hillbillies, they're knocking on the door, knock on wood.
Oh, Norm, was that a shout-out to me? Or did you do that? You didn't do that on purpose.
Nope.
Okay, I was just wondering. But, yeah, right now, this Fredonia offense chewing up the clock, and if they score here, they also get the ball to start the second half, too. Remember, they forced an early out for Southwestern on their first drive.
Yep, and they won the toss and they deferred. So pistol formation for Fry, sending Whitfield in motion. It's a give to Davis again, but this time he's got nothing. The Trojans break down the stone wall for Fredonia's line, and they stop Davis for virtually no gain.
So they finally hold him to a yard or even less, because right now Micah Davis has had his way. But thanks to his guys up front, Matt Cash, Tyler Cousdale, Owen Rush, Simon Price, and Ian Story, those 5 young men anchoring that offensive line, allowing him to make plays and be the special player he is.
A bunch to the right side for Fredonia, and Fry's going to pitch it off to Davis. He's got some room. He's in the 5, and he's in for a touchdown. So the toss sweep to Micah Davis. He gets in for his first touchdown of the game, his 6th touchdown run of the year. And Fredonia, they do pad their lead to 2 possessions, 13-0, with the PAT about to come up next.
And Norm, I don't know if you saw that scary sight, but number 4, Matt Panis, he tried to come around. Owen Rush was pulling around. He is the left guard on that side. He pulled around the edge, and he was coming like a freight train down the line. Now Davis to cut that one back up in, and now it's not panic time for Southwestern, but they got to make something happen on offense.
And the extra point, another beautiful kick by Tabone, 14-0 with 3:43 left in the half. And Southwestern, they do have a chance to get some points on the board before halftime. Still too early to panic. 14 points is not insurmountable at all.
Yeah,
sorry.
Right now I think they got to get Matt Panis involved in the run game. I think the quarterback powers and the quarterback draws, they're too predictable right now, especially based on the formations they come out in them with when they run that tight trips. Fredonia defense, I mean, they know that clicks in their head, okay, those are lead blockers. He's going to run to this side. We just slant the gaps to that side, and we know it's going that way. If you can get Matt Panis involved, if you can get Cameron Lemke and Griff Bogdanowicz, some of your guys on the outside, even Chris Miller, get your receivers involved in the short game. I know that screen up the middle has not worked, but maybe just some tunnel screens to the outside, some quick slants right now. You got man coverage, so if the Trojan receivers can just really run some great routes right now, they're going to be able to help Walsh out in a big way, help him get his confidence, and eventually find a rhythm.
Yeah, and Southwestern, they have had a few good plays. It's just they need to get a bunch of them together for a good drive. But it's going to be a near kicking off for Fredonia. And again, it is Panis and Larson, the 2 deep men for Southwestern. Still time for the Trojans to get a touchdown before halftime, because Fredonia does get the ball to start the second half, and I'm sure they're hungry for a 2-for-1 opportunity. But here comes the boot, and nice kick down the center of the field. And Larson is just going to let it go out of bounds. So the second kick violation of the night for a near. So this is going to be good field position here for the Trojans. First down with 3:43 left in the half.
Great discipline by Brody Larson there to let that one go out of bounds. He took a little gamble, but it paid off, because otherwise they're inside their own 10-yard line, probably around the 5, with a long way to go right now. And you tally it up, still only 1 yard on the ground, 40 through the air. Walsh is 5 of 8 right now, so he's gotten some completions, but they have been easy. Right now, you're on your 35-yard line, and I know I'd like to see him just get a chunk play, you know? They're trying to chip away at it. You'll see 1st and 10, then 2nd and 6, then 3rd and 3, and then a penalty happens, then they're backed up. See if you can just get a good portion of it on one play.
It will be a trips on the near side and one receiver on the far. Larson sent in motion. It's going to be a touch pass to him. Following the blocking he's getting, gets away from a couple defenders, and he'll get tackled at around the 37, 38-yard line. Whitfield, the main man on the stop, along with Cash. So impeccable patience there by Larson. He was able to get a few yards out of it. But again, that defensive pursuit, we've seen it by both teams with the running game. both teams are in pretty even strength with that.
And that's not the first time we've seen that, or we've seen the Trojans run that play so far. Just that sweep to the outside. I would love to see him run a reverse off of that. You got the Fredonia defense beyond over-pursuing on that, especially to the near side of the field. You pitch that back to someone else, they could really take it far. But at least they get a positive play on first down.
It was a gain of 3, less than 3 minutes left in the half. Walsh looking to throw. He does throw for Lemke, and he makes the catch. Had to tip it to himself, but he's not going to get a lot of yardage on it. Fry, one of the guys on the tackle, and also it looked like it was Jake Wiley as well.
And I know some fans are upset with where the ref is spotting the ball. It really only turned into a gain of 1 or 2. He caught it, or he at first hit his hands about 2 yards shy of the first down marker, but like you said, he had to tip it to himself. So the forward progress doesn't start until he initially has possession of the ball. Because if you don't have possession, then the ball can't be spotted there. So I know the Trojan fans will disagree with me, but that's a good job by the refs. Still set up third and manageable, though.
Yeah, it was a 2-yard gain, 3rd down 5, and it also depended on the progress as well because he did not get a lot of forward progress, so I would agree with you there. So Walsh will look to throw. Here comes a blitz and gets away from it, but not by Rush. Rush able to get there and get the sack. Gets Walsh back at the 38-yard line. It won't be a huge loss, but a sack is a sack. And taking a look at the stat line for Owen Rush, that's his 3rd sack of the season.
And Fredonia's going to take a timeout here, try and preserve some clock. That's going to leave them, they still have 2 timeouts left after that and a minute 43 to work with. So now we're talking the 2-for-1 of making it 21-0, then getting the ball back instead of just 14-0. But that play there, you saw the all-out pressure there from Fredonia. It was led by really the star of the defense, Sam Atzerodt. He was in there first, and Walsh just has nowhere to step up. You see that so many times where the defense will bring the house on a mobile quarterback. He steps right up in the pocket, and he's got all this room to run, easily has a first down. But Fredonia is maintaining discipline, gap responsibility, leaving him nowhere to run, and he just runs right into a wall of Hillbilly defenders.
The sack was only a 1-2-yard loss, and I don't disagree with that timeout because you want to stay hungry, get points on the board, and with how fast they can move the ball when Davis gets his gaps and when Fry can throw it downfield, you could possibly have a 20 or 21-point lead before halftime.
And especially with how much this game means to Fredonia, too. You know, I'm sure they're upset that they're sitting in 3rd place right now because Salamanca doesn't – they're 3-2 overall, but that head-to-head put them above Fredonia right now. So they're out for some vengeance right now in 3rd place, trying to move up and take down the top spot, top-seeded Trojans.
Whitfield deep on the return, but Walsh, able to get a good punt off and pass the 20 to about the 17-yard line. So exactly 90 seconds left in the half and 84 yards to a touchdown. And from looking where the ball is spotted, I'd say about 65 yards from a possible field goal attempt as well to put 3 points on the board.
And you know, Norm, you got to wonder at some point for the Trojan offense, when does Coach Burkholder make the decision to, and it's not that Walsh isn't a good quarterback, but
right.
I personally feel he is better utilized at the running back and the wide receiver position. Owen Hayes has gotten experience over the course of the year. He's more the pocket passer. That's what he's designed to do. He doesn't typically run, but he'll give you another dimension in offense in terms of going through the air, because right now this offense needs to do something.
So pistol formation again for Fry, and he'll look to throw. He's going to go on the opposite end of the field. It is complete. Looks like it's to Whitfield, and he'll get tackled at the 30-yard line. And I beg your pardon, it was actually Jamison Quinn on the reception. So getting the first down, it momentarily stops the clock until the ball is spotted. So now the clock's running. Fry sticking in the shotgun. Davis is a single back and 4 wideouts, 2 on both sides. And it's another fake. Fry staying in the pocket. He's going downfield again. That one is caught by Whitfield, and he does get out of bounds. Or no, I beg your pardon, he didn't. The clock's still running, so his knee must have went down before he reached a sideline. So the clock is ticking. We're less than 1 minute left in the half. And if they want to get points on the board, they need to hit the hustle button a little bit
Southwestern playing the smart, cover two deep safeties, man underneath, keep everything in front of you, don't give up the big bomb over top.
And they're going to give it to Davis, but he's going to lose yardage. Gets brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and it was Cameron Lemp on the tackle. And the clock's going to keep on running, and now a timeout's been called. It is by Fredonia. 33 seconds left in the half. It is third down. Looks like it'll be third down and 3 yards to go for Fredonia. And a chance either to convert the third down and get the first, or if you want to just change it and become conservative, a simple run play. But if it turns to a big gain, you still got that one timeout, though, too.
I think that's what they're going to do. Based on that run call on second down, we're all aware that the clock stops with a first down momentarily to move the chains, but after that deep pass, the Fredonia offense didn't seem to have a sense of urgency to them like they wanted to get into scoring position. To me, it seems at this point they're just content with picking up a first down or two here. If they can break one, that's great, but I think Coach Sherlock is, if you would have told him that he's going into halftime with potentially a 14-0 lead and getting the ball to start the second half, I guarantee you he's going to take that every day of the week.
So both teams back out on the field. It's third down and 3 with 33 seconds left in the half. Fredonia's down to one timeout. If I'm Southwestern, though, I would also show a blitz. They do got the 4-down lineman, and Fry looking to throw. Here comes the pressure by Lampkin. He's going to throw it away. He'll just throw a high arcer that a lineman catches on the sideline. That had more arc than the Animals and Noah's, so it's going to be fourth down, and they're going to just wisely pump this one away.
You saw Cameron Lemp there. He didn't fall for the pump fake. He got his hands up in the air, but he still didn't allow any running lanes for Ethan Fry. They were trying to take a deep shot there. They had a couple guys on the outside, but Southwestern, the defensive backs have stayed disciplined right now. It's going to be up to the guys in the box in the second half. Find a way to stop Micah Davis. Force Ethan Fry to make the big plays.
Here comes the punt by Rush, and it's a nice one. That'll bounce past the 30, and Panis will pick it up around the 20, but he loses his balance. And he's going to lose about 2-3 yards picking it up and trying to run. 17 seconds left in the half, and I'm predicting that they're just going to kneel the ball and regroup for the second half.
I can imagine that too. Just some first half stats right now. Fredonia has 160 total yards of offense compared to the Trojans' 44, so it has been lopsided so far. And a Fredonia defense that has gotten gashed on the ground, staying disciplined tonight, and we knew it was going to be a tough offensive go-about for Southwestern. At some point, their defense is going to have to come up with turnovers and start bailing out their offense, how they've done over the course of the season.
Appears a timeout was called. Both teams just on the far ends of the field respectively. And again, I'm thinking it may just be a simple kneel down and regroup. Fredonia does get the ball to start the second half, and it has been common for the season for Southwestern where sometimes Walsh plays quarterback, and there's also times Owen Hayes comes in and takes some snaps as well. So I'm thinking what you're thinking. It could be possible we may see Hayes in the second half. You're down 14-0. See what he can do offensively. Why not give it a shot?
And he is younger. I'm pretty sure he is a sophomore, but it'd be one thing if he had no prior experience on the year, but he's gotten in some games. He actually has, if I looking at my stats correctly, he's insanely accurate too. He's 25 of 38 on the year. He's got 4 touchdowns and 248 yards in limited action. So we'll have to see what Coach Burkholder decides to do at halftime, if he wants to stick with Walsh or put Hayes under center and get Walsh involved in other areas.
It's going to be a bunch right, a fake sweep on the toss, and Walsh will just keep it himself. He crosses the 30. There's a flag on the play, and where it went, it's usually an illegal block in the back or a holding. 7 seconds left in the half. And it will be a holding on Southwestern.
And that's the head referee, Jim Barber. He's had a field day with the holding calls so far. He's very flag hungry. And I haven't really been able to see where some of these holding calls are coming from, so I can't attest to them. But that's got to be at least the 4th or 5th one tonight on the Southwestern offense, and they're not doing themselves any favors right now.
Penalties are drive killers. So 7 seconds left. I would say just play it safe. Either kneel it down or just run a simple handoff to Panis.
Yeah, don't do what the Bills did and try to fake a kneel and then come up short and come away with nothing.
Oh, that was not smart. But that's behind them now as the clock will keep running. And Walsh will just kneel it down, and that's going to conclude the first half here at Charles A. Lawson Field. Fredonia ahead over Southwestern 14-0. We have it halftime. We'll be back for the second half momentarily, but first there's going to be a halftime segment featuring Jeremy Becker and Alex Colsey. So please do stick around on WNY Athletics.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Our homes have become offices, gyms, schools, and playgrounds. And at Western New York Immediate Care, we know you may need us now more than ever. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care physicians are trained to diagnose and treat most non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses. With 5 convenient locations open 7 days a week, help is never far away. Life has changed, but Western New York Immediate Care is still here for you.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
And we welcome you here into the halftime report presented by Howard Hanna Associates and Western New York Immediate Care. Alex Colsey, Jeremy Becker. 14-0 Fredonia here at the halftime. A pretty dominant performance so far here in the opening half, wouldn't you say, Jeremy?
On all aspects of the ball, Colsey, that's really like, even in the trenches, Fredonia's just pushing Southwestern. I mean, look at the total yards, 153 to 44. That's just telling of how good the offensive line is. Whitfield's look good, Fry's look good. I would like to see Welsh maybe run the ball and follow his blockers a little bit more, but so far Fredonia's done a great job of containing Jamison Walsh.
Yeah, it seems like Southwestern, they haven't had a lot of opportunities to move that ball. Like you said, they're getting pushed around on the line, which I know for a fact Jake Burkholder, he's definitely going to be trying to make some adjustments at halftime, trying to get his soldiers together, say, hey, we can't keep getting pushed around if we want to stay in this game. Like, it's only a 2-score deficit right now. That's not insurmountable at all. They could definitely come back from this, but they need to make adjustments so that that offensive and defensive line is not getting pushed around like they are right now.
But also give credit to Coach Sherlock's group for coming out. And really, the stats aren't telling the true tale of how dominant Fredonia's been in this first half.
Yeah, Fredonia's pretty much kind of having their way on offense a little bit now. I mean, 153 yards doesn't seem like a lot, but you also have to take into account they've had really good field position on the majority of their drives so far.
And now we're going to go to the update part of our Howard Hanna. 27-0. Jamestown leads Frontier 9:51 in the third quarter.
That is honestly a game that I thought would have been a lot closer looking at it as we're watching the game. We're watching the final drive that's also live on Daniel Athletics. We're watching that as well, keeping up with scores there. That Jamestown Frontier game, great rivalry, probably one of Jamestown's biggest rivals from the Buffalo area. That game I probably would have expected to be a little closer than it is right now.
Well, I was talking to Mr. Wolf about this game when I was up in Buffalo on Wednesday, and he said if Jamestown could stop the Frontiers' run, because Frontiers are a really run-heavy team, and they have a great running back, Jamestown will have a chance, and it's close. But a game that's not close, and give credit to Coach Fisher, Falconer, Maple Grove, Casadega Valley over the Crusaders. I believe last time we checked it was 42-6.
Yeah. Randolph is up 35-0 over Wilson in their game. That's at halftime. 1 quarter in the books down in Frewsburg. CSP is up 14-0. Those two updates coming from Frewsburg. I think other than that, if you do have any score updates that you would like us to pass along, you can tweet out to us, AK Sports WNY on Twitter for myself. Jeremy is Jeremy Becker 98.
Jeremy Becker 98. Also, we forgot another game of the week for Fredonia Bennett or Lancaster Bennett.
Yeah.
Bennett is last time I checked was up 12-0 over Lancaster.
Yep. Looks like West Seneca West and Will East are about to get going in the second half. West Seneca West leading that one 7-6. Pierce Salemate is still up 28-0 in their game, so a lot of high-scoring games tonight. This one, not quite.
This one's more of a battle of the trenches, and it's very defensive.
All right.
Again, I expect Southwestern to make the adjustments. We're going to make this a lot closer of a game. This is going to come down to who has the ball last and who wins in the trenches.
100%. If Southwestern can make the adjustments they need to make to get themselves back into this game, they can make it a game. They only need 2 touchdowns. That's not hard at all.
Offense, that's going to be hard at all.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're going to take a break. This has been the Howard Hanna, Western New York Media Care, Western New York Athletics halftime show. Jeremy Becker along with Alex Colsey. We'll see you on the other side with Colin Wood and Norm Rodriguez.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated, multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated, multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers, we can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
And we're still at halftime, but it's not going to be for much longer as Fredonia, they are ahead 14-0 over the Southwestern Trojans, and the Hillbillies do get the ball to start the second half. It has been all Fredonia so far, but if you're Southwestern, it's still way too early to panic. There's plenty of time to get back into this game.
They're going to have to change some things up right now, though. 44 total yards of offense in the first half. 42 of those came from Walsh throwing the ball around. But the combination of penalties, predictability on offense has not done them any good so far. We're going to see if there is a potential QB change or if Coach Burkholder is going to elect to stick with Walsh. And so far, Fredonia keep doing what's working. Fry was only 4 of 10, but he had 59 yards, and they also managed to pick up 94 yards on the ground as well. So a balanced mix from Fredonia in the first half. Micah Davis and Jamison Quinn both have a touchdown. You keep feeding Davis, maybe mix in some read options and zone reads with Fry. See if you can get the defenders to bite on it. Maybe he keeps it. And also just having a disciplined secondary for the Hillbillies. You know Southwestern cannot just chew up the clock constantly with a run game and short passes. They're going to have to take some shots eventually. So they've done a great job with their man coverage in the first half. They really didn't allow any completion for a first down. There were some short ones, but they did a great job on the back end. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half here. You know, like we were talking about, this is a very important game. Trojans first place in C-South, 4-1 overall, 3-0 in league play. Hillbillies in third, right behind the Warriors of Salamanca, 2-1 in league play, 4-1 overall. So, Norm, what are some of your expectations for both teams, really, for the second half here?
Well, Fredonia, you don't need to necessarily be in a hurry because you are up by 2 possessions, 14-0. If you just want to mainly go ground and pound with Davis, if it works, don't change it up. But if you're Southwestern, you need to jam the box if that's necessary. 7-8 guys in there. And offensively, they need to start going downfield a little bit. And they do got the receiving core to do it. Panis is one of the top receivers on the team, and so is Cameron Lemp. So Walsh, he's got 2 great weapons he can use on the receiving end. And there's no reason they can't come back from 14 down, but we do got a couple of score updates as well. Jamestown extended their lead over Frontier 33-0. The 2-point conversion was unsuccessful. The Golden Cougars hit halftime not too long ago. Their game against Dunkirk, they're up 49-6. But we're about to get the kickoff here. It will be Neves Hughes going toe to leather again. Like Tabone, he is a soccer player. Hughes is also a wrestler, too, for Southwestern. Southwestern does love to do those surprise onside kicks, though. Maybe try that. They have had success with it in the past. You're down 14-0. You need to make some sort of a big play, and sometimes doing it on special teams is just as important. As Hughes is ready, here comes the kickoff to start the second half. And he boots a beauty downfield. It'll bounce at the 10, and it gets bobbled around, and it gets recovered, breaking a couple of tackles, getting to the 15 and down to the 17, 18-yard line for Fredonia. That is Samuel Atzrott on the return. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Hillbillies.
And we know the name that we're going to be saying for a majority of the second half here, Micah Davis. He's an electric running back. Like we said, averages over 7 yards a carry, which he has done multiple times tonight, just gashing the inside, that box of the Trojan defense, really having his way. But he wouldn't be able to do it without his offensive line up front. They have been stellar so far. And Southwestern's going to need some stops on defense. Get your offense in a short field, maybe force a turnover too. A quick 3-and-out would also help.
Well, 4 wides to start it off for Fredonia, and Davis is the single back. And it will be an inside give to Davis, and gets a good chunk of yardage, but there is a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to be a holding as the defender looked like was tackled to the ground. And we're near the Southwestern fans, and they're showing their passion for the Southwestern Trojans football team. It's always good to see a lot of fans come and support their alma mater or their respective children that play whatever sport they play.
And I think they got tired of the lopsidedness with the penalties in the first half. You saw a holding call. That flag was thrown in the Southwestern backfield at least 4 or 5 times in the first half. That's going to be the first holding call against Fredonia. They have been very disciplined in terms of penalties. They haven't set themselves up behind the chains too much, which is what has allowed them to keep drives going. But now the Trojans, you've been given a gift here. They have 3 plays to get 20 yards, keep everything in front, and try to come up with a stop, get your offense the ball back.
So with the penalty, they're going to be back inside their 10-yard line. Ball's going to be at the 9. So it's going to be first down and a couple of miles here for the Hillbillies, 1st and 20. As shotgun formation, setting a man in motion, it's a toss sweep to Davis. Davis does have a gap, and he's able to get it to around the 17-yard line. So a good chunk of the yardage back from the penalty and then some.
And you saw the way he hits that hole, great blocking up front. He's running with some passion, running full speed. He really is a gifted and talented back. And right now, Ethan Fry, a lot of the pressure has been taken off of his arm specifically. He hasn't had to do much because the run game has worked out so well.
Fry looking to throw. He's still in the pocket. He does have a safety valve guy in Davis. He's going downfield. It's going to be caught to the 40. Breaks a tackle past midfield and around the 47-yard line. Pass complete to number 12, Tim Field. He was open on the far side of the field, able to make the catch more than enough for the first down. And from taking a look at the stat line for Field, that's just his 5th catch of the season.
And that right there is Ethan Fry just taking advantage of a mismatch. You have a linebacker, number 51, Paul Hayes, trying to cover a receiver on the outside. Initially had the coverage stopped inside, but receiver broke it right behind the linebacker, and that's just not a fair matchup.
And it's going to be another give to Davis, but minimal yardage. One of the guys on the tackle for Southwestern appeared to be Mitch Pike, number 55. So no gains. So Southwestern, they're showing when they're able to, they can contain Davis, but more often than not, when Davis does find those gaps, it's almost going to be looking like a house call each time from what we've seen.
Fry's done a good job of going through the progression of his reads. His top guys are Keegan Wheatfield and Jameson Quinn on the year, but he's also got Jay Hawk and Tim Davis, who are great receivers as well.
Quick pass that is caught, and the pass was complete to, once again, Jameson Quinn. He's had a busy game, and Fry, he's been doing pretty well with those quick passes. Snap, less than 2 seconds. Dink it over to one of your speed receivers and let him see if he can burn the secondary.
And right now, the life and all the momentum is over on that Hillbilly sideline. You see the Trojan sideline, not a lot of passion, not a lot of fight. All it takes is one play to swing the momentum of this game.
Well, here's the give to Davis. Got big gap, breaking a couple tackles and down to the 20-yard line. And Larson in on the tackle, but again, that's enough for a first down. And Davis, he's eating up the yardage like a Thanksgiving turkey.
And it's that same play once again, just hitting that inside gap. And he's not even touched until he's picked up at least 7 or 8 yards right now. The offensive lineman for Fredonia, they're doing a great job getting to the second level, really taking the linebackers out of the equation.
So again, pistol formation, another give to Davis. Breaks one tackle, going around, veering to the right side of the 15. And Larson again on the tackle, but still a decent amount of yardage there for Davis. And from what I've seen offensively, there is a player down, though, and it looks like it's rushed for Fredonia. And an injury timeout has been called by the official. And we're going to take a commercial break ourselves, but more action coming up between Southwestern and Fredonia right after this on WNY Athletics.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
And there is still a player down, though, for Fredonia. From my view, it looked like it was number 70, Owen Rush. And you always hope it's nothing bad, but if that were to be, that would be a big loss for Fredonia because he does well on the O-line, on the D-line. He's also the team's punter as well. But we do also got some score updates. Jamestown is ahead in their game 33-0. Bennett, they just scored a touchdown, converted the 2-point conversion. They're playing the Lancaster Legends. The Bennett Tigers are up 20-0. So, again, we're waiting to see what this is about. Again, you always hope it's nothing serious.
And right now, the linebackers for Southwestern, they're going to have to figure out something soon because they are getting blocked left and right on every play. You know, Colton Holbrook, Paul Hayes, Mitch Pike. Colton Holbrook's the leader in this team for tackles for loss, and Mitch Pike has forced a very large chunk of the Trojan turnover so far in the year. So if the defensive line, if they're not going to be able to get pressure with that run game, at least they can take up a few guys, at least be a body and sacrifice yourself. Try to take out a couple linemen so they can't get to the second level. Free up your linebackers to finally at least get to Davis before he can break one loose.
And it was indeed Rush that was down the play, but he was able to get up and walk in his own power. Another quick score update, though. Maryvale, they're up over East Aurora Holland, 28-7. Fry in the pistol formation, and he takes a snap. It's another give to Davis, and squirming past the 10 to the 9-yard line. And again, the guy in the tackle for Southwestern, he's been busy on the defensive side, is Mitch Pike.
And right there from what I saw, it was 76, Colin Crowell, who took the spot of Rush. And just on that play alone, you can tell this Fredonia team has some depth. Based on him taking his man out of the play there, you wouldn't be able to tell he was a second stringer. Great blocking there from the backup.
It's going to be a 2-wide stack on each side, but it's going to be a give to Davis again, and he'll get it inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. And I like this. They've already burnt 3 minutes of clock. You're ahead 14-0. No need to rush.
Be interesting to see what they do here. Obviously, Coach Sherlock is thinking touchdown, try to put this one on ice. But you could make this a 3-possession game if you can't come up with a touchdown, or you can go for it on 4th down, pin Southwestern deep.
Well, here's the give to Davis, trying to get to the corner pylon, and he's down inside the 2 to the 1 yard line. So it'll be 3rd down, a yard to go, and you know what I wouldn't mind seeing, though, because Fry is mobile? I wouldn't mind seeing him trying to sneak in a touchdown run himself.
I think he easily could, based on the way that the push he's getting from his guys up front. I think he certainly could. I definitely wouldn't do anything too cute here.
Oh, no.
And you can see they're going to send everyone in tight.
Yeah, this is a goal line formation. Looks like this could be a sneak because Fry is deep under center. Or if not, this could be a fullback dive. And it's going to be a give on the counter. And in for the touchdown on the run is number 20, and that is Atzrot. How about 7 points in each quarter for Fredonia so far? 21-0, 7:50 left in the third. And we're about to see Southwestern's offense again, and right now the goal should be get one on the board, take that 0 off. But we're also going to stay right here, though, as well. Both return teams are about to get out, and again, Southwestern main goal, get some points on the board. 21 points, even though it's bigger than 14. If you're able to get a couple stops defensively, you can come back and tie this game.
And I think the mission obviously is score, but I think score quick too, based on the way your defense is playing, the way that Fredonia has been able to pick up first downs on offense, move the chains, keep the clock running. Right now it's really do or die, and this is eventually what comes back to haunt you when you play conservative in the first half. You don't stretch the defense. Credit, they're playing great coverage back end, but we're going to have to see who also comes out at quarterback for the Trojans, but that's why, it's beneficial to try and take some shots in the first half, roll the dice, you never know, throw it up to one of your guys who can come down with a jump ball and just get a chunk play, because they have struggled and fought for every yard they have gained right now, and they're going to have to, the run game that didn't work for them in first half, at this point, it's not really as of the best use as it could be, because they're going to have to start going through the air here.
And Panis and Larson are standing at the 10-yard line. Anier going to go total leather again for Fredonia. And here's the kick, and it's another nice kick right in the center of the field. Larson fields at the 14. Looking for a wall of blockers. He crossed the 30 to the 35-yard line, and he almost broke it, but still a good 21-yard return there by Larson, and maybe that could be the positive building block. A nice return to start. And it looks like Walsh is going to remain at quarterback for Southwestern.
2 more score updates around the league. Pioneer versus South Park. Pioneer's ahead in that one, 17-0, along with Jamestown taking on Frontier. They are in control by a lot, 40-0. A lot of lopsided games going around here in Section 6, Western New York.
And that's almost identical to the sectional championship when Jamestown played Frontier at Highmark. The score of that game was 41-0. So almost identical, as it's going to be 4 wides here for Southwestern, and Walsh still in at quarterback. He'll look to throw. He's going to throw a medium-range pass. It is complete. Past the 45 to around the 48-yard line. It is Chris Miller with the reception. Even just a pass play like that, it's positive building blocks. You move the chains. You're nearing Fredonia territory. And the clock momentarily stops because it was a first down, and Southwestern getting ready to run their next play.
And what we've seen from Walsh is he typically relies on Cameron Lemke, so it's good that he gets his other guys involved. He has Chris Miller, Griff Bogdanowicz also there on the outside for him. And he's just going to have to go through his progressions, try and take something deep if it's not there, throw it to your check down, at least pick up positive yardage.
And Walsh looking to throw. He'll throw one on the flats, but it's incomplete. It was low, and I don't think there was any way Miller would have caught that because that did hit the turf before he was able to get a hand on it. But I see we got another score update.
How about another shutout? Olean taking on Lakeshore. That one is 27 zilch. So
wow. So we've had quite a few games where it's been mostly one-sided, but the ones that are always fun to commentate from our experiences, the ones that are either the shootouts or the defensive battles, those are always exciting. But right now, Walsh in the pistol. He's got 4 wides, 2 slots, all 2 on each side. Here comes the blitz by Fredonia. It's going to be a screen pass. It's caught by Panis. Panis able to evade one defender, gets into Fredonia territory, brought down at around the 44-yard line. So, again, Panis, he's a dual-threat ball player. He can rush, and he can also pass receive.
And Coach Sherlock deciding to dial up some pressure there. Luckily, it was a screen pass for the Trojan. Gets it out to Panis on the outside, and now you see Walsh, he's more confident. He's starting to develop some sort of rhythm. They're starting to click a little bit on offense. They're going to have to turn this into points.
Walsh looking. He'll throw another one incomplete. That one a bit wide. It was intended for Griff Bogdanowicz.
See, just like that right there on that play. From what I saw, it seemed as if he predetermined that pass. If he waited a second, he had Panis wide open over the middle. Fry at safety was playing underneath, trying to play the short route. Panis could have taken that one for 6, and now you really leave yourself no choice. Down 3 scores, 6.5 in the third. You got to go for this in plus territory.
Yep, 4th down and a yard. They are at Fredonia's 44. It wouldn't hurt, though, to see a quarterback sweep. When Walsh just had a couple of them where a flag wasn't thrown, he's gotten good 3-4 yards on each one. Fredonia showing the blitz. Walsh looking to throw. He's going to go downfield. He's got a man, but it's overthrown. Incomplete. That was again intended for Bogdanowicz, and he was stride for stride, but the throw was just a little too far. Fredonia will get the ball on downs, and it'll be 1st and 10, up 21-0, and now you can really milk some clock if you're on the Hillbilly side.
And that pressure has just, it seems to be getting to Walsh right now, the way that he doesn't seem too comfortable in the pocket with the way that Fredonia really brought the house that time. He had a guy open, just let that one sail on him. And right now, like you said, Fredonia is in full control of this one here. They can do whatever they want on offense. But I would assume we're going to see a lot more of Micah Davis, but this time they're going to go empty. Ethan Fry.
Yeah, and they're in a trip stack on the far side. Fry will look to throw. Looks like this could be a possible screen. He's still in the pocket. Throws one downfield. It's caught! Gets caught there by Quinn. Quinn jetting through the defense and inside the 25-yard line. Quinn having a very busy game here on the offensive side in the passing game. It looked like Lemp was going to get Fry for a sack. Fry's able to get it off at the last minute, finds Quinn, and it's obvious Quinn is Fry's safety valve because he was going for a tunnel screen for the bubble and decides to just go downfield, makes the catch, gets a big chunk of yardage. Pistol formation, give to Davis, and a flag on the play. It was right when Lemp was trying to go for Fry. And it's going to be a holding on Fredonia. So that should loosen up the Southwestern defense a little bit.
But back to that previous play that picked up a 1st down, based on that play design, it was to fake the screen. You know, you have 4 receivers over there on the left side, 3 of them to the far, out right at the numbers in a stack. So they fake that. All the attention to the defense, all the eyes are going to that side. And then they actually, for the most part, they all just ran go routes. And it was Quinn who kind of just hung around in the middle of that defense. He got lost in the coverage, and everyone going deep that Fry was able to dump it right to him. And we see why that Fry has had such a solid year. He has poise in the pocket. He delivers balls on time, accurately, and also has a great receiving core to help him out.
And it's going to be a fake to Davis, and Fry staying in the pocket. He's going to just throw it away. There was a receiver in the area, so it will not be grounding. And it looked like he was trying to find Quinn on that one. So 2nd down and 20 for Fredonia. 5:38 left in the third, and it's been all Hillbillies. 21-0 to score.
And right now, you're the Trojans. You're looking at 2nd and 20. This is do or die here. Down 3 scores. Got to come up with a stop. Get the ball back to your offense.
Fry looking. He's going to go long. He's got a man. It's Whitfield, and it's incomplete, overthrown. And we got a late flag on the play. Looks like it'll be a personal foul. Lemp was getting into a tug of war a little bit with Ian Story, and the penalty's going to be against Fredonia. Story and Lemp, they were in a tussle because Lemp was coming in on a blitz, and he's nearly gotten to Fry quite a few times tonight. So this is a big penalty here for Fredonia. Also, looks like it's going to be offsetting penalties. My apologies.
But they're
going to move it back.
Yeah, so
we got another correction. It was actually on just Fredonia. So, again, that'll loosen up Southwestern's D a little bit. This is looking like blitz the league now. This is going to be 2nd down and 35. So, I would say almost a lap that Forrest Gump could run real quick. As Fry will look to throw. He's looking. He's going to go downfield, and it's almost intercepted. Nearly picked off there by Declan Kennedy. So a break there for Fry. It'll be 3rd down and a country mile.
And right now, if I'm Coach Burkholder, this play, I'm rushing 3 guys. I'm dropping everyone into coverage, send 8 guys back. I'd have my 2 safeties right around where the original line of scrimmage was at the 25-yard line. And even if they pick up a few yards here, 10 or 15 yards, that's fine. You're getting them all back. There's still plenty of time on the clock, but it's got to happen here on this play.
Southwestern showing the fake blitz. Fry will just look to throw. He'll throw one tipped, and it's incomplete. It looked like that Hawk was going to have it for a moment, but couldn't have a clean hold as Bogdanowicz put the hit on to jar it free. It's going to be 4th and long, and it's going to be a different guy punting this time for Fredonia. Again, last offensive series for Fredonia, Owen Rush got injured, so right now it's going to be Bryce Bacher punting it now for Fredonia.
And that was a fantastic play there by Cameron Lemk. Sometimes as a defensive lineman, if you can't get to the quarterback, he showed Rush. He actually stood up at the line of scrimmage, just got his hands up, and that's just as good as a sack or a tackle for loss. He deflected that one, allowed an incomplete pass, and 4th and a mile for Fredonia.
Here comes the punt by Bacher, and not a bad one. Almost got blocked. It takes a great Fredonia bounce. And I almost thought there was a flag throw for a moment. There was a bit of physicality going on the near side of the field, but it's going to be Southwestern ball, 1st and 10, 5:13 left in the third. 21-0 to score, and last drive, Walsh, he did get them downfield a little bit, got in the Fredonia territory, but they failed in the 4th and 1 to turn it over on downs.
On that 4th down play, they only needed a yard, and I see that's what they were going for, but that's when I would keep Walsh on the ground potentially. It's call the plays based on the down and distance, and right now you got to pick up 1st down, so these screen passes and the short 5-yard hitch routes, they're not going to work. I mean, they are, but you're going to chew up a lot of clock in the process.
So this time Walsh will be under center, and it's going to be a give and a big gap on the run past the 30-yard line, and the handoff was to Sam Arrington. And from taking a look at his numbers, this is the first carry we've seen from him tonight. And that's just his 11th carry of the season. He does have a touchdown run.
Yeah, they got him involved last game a little bit against Salamanca. He had 32 yards and actually the game-winning touchdown as well. So finding a new guy who can carry the ball in there as well.
Nothing wrong with having multiple running backs, as it's going to be another handoff, but this time looks like it's going to be for no gain on the play as there's a wall of Hillbilly defenders. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3.
And right now, I don't mind the run plays because you do need to pick up 1st downs. You can't be predictable and one-dimensional. Right now, if I'm the Trojans, I'm not racing against the overall clock on this drive, but I'm kind of going on pace with the 3rd quarter clock. I would like to score before that third quarter buzzer goes off. You have 4 minutes, plenty of time to do that. So it doesn't all have to be done through the Air Force. Just keep Fredonia on their heels, and they've done a way better job in the second half of mixing up the play calls.
Fredonia's showing the blitz. It's a play-action fake. Here's the throw, and that is caught. And it looked like he was still inbounds, so no flag on the play. The pass was complete to Miller. We do also have a score update. Dunkirk, they do get another touchdown on the board. The score's now 49-12. They're taking on the Falconer Maple Grove Cassadaga Valley Golden Cougars.
And I like that throw by Walsh. Throw the simple hitch route to the near side instead of going to the far side. You know, that was a 15-yard throw as opposed to a 30-yard throw for a couple-yard gain. So Trojans move the sticks now.
So it's going to be first down, third down conversion for Southwestern. And this drive, Walsh has mainly been under center. And this is going to be a give again to Arrington, but stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And it was Ian Story, the main man, on the tackle. And we do have an update. Lancaster, they just scored a touchdown. They're on the scoreboard, and the extra point was good. 39 seconds left in the third in that game. They're behind against the Bennett Tigers 20-7. So a little more than 3 minutes left in the third. Score 21-0 Fredonia. And Southwestern, they're starting to move the ball a little bit again, but the last play was for a 1-yard loss. Trojans will break the huddle.
And if I'm the offensive coordinator for Southwestern, I would have something different installed to where my quarterback didn't have to come to the sideline every play just to get the play. Right now, a minute's ticked off the clock, and they haven't gained any yardage. They got to move with some urgency.
They had a trip stack on the right, on the near side of the field, but it's another give to Arrington. He gets a good chunk of yardage, gets stopped at around the 43-yard line. And I can see what you're thinking, though. Why not just say the play number, have him look it up on his wristband, then call the play? Because you can save a good 10, 15 seconds because you're burning precious time.
And you also save Jamison Walsh some energy, too. You got to figure him constantly going to the sideline after every play. I know it's just a slight jog, but you got to have all the energy you need in a game like this.
Exactly.
And he doesn't need to be constantly running back and forth, you know. Like you said, just have a wristband play called or just have signals on the offense to cue him on what the play is.
Walsh looking to throw. Staying in the pocket, flag on the play, and it's incomplete, intended for Panis. The flag was thrown a few yards ahead of the line of scrimmage. So we'll see what the flag's all about. And taking a look at a quick score update, West Seneca West are still up over Williamsville East 7-6 midway through the fourth. So it's going to be a chop block on Southwestern. And Jamestown just added another touchdown. They're now up 46-0 with less than a minute left in that ball game at Frontier. So Jamestown, they're on the verge for their fourth consecutive victory after starting 0-2. And as Walsh gets the next play, that's something, though, Jamestown does very well with. They don't have Drake walk the sideline. They have big cue cards sometimes with signals, and they'll take a look at the wristband, get set, run the play.
And you don't even need the cue cards. Back when I was playing, what we had was a color and a number. So our offensive coordinator would yell out white 7, and we would look at our wristbands, and it would tell the quarterback the play, but I was a receiver, so it would tell us your responsibility, whether that was to run block or to go out for a route.
Fredonia showing the blitz. It's going to be a screen pass. It's caught by Panis, but he's not going to get nothing. Story was able to slow him down, and then a trio of Hillbilly defenders gets to Panis. So it's going to be fourth down and long, and you need to punt this one away. You don't want to give Fredonia a good field position.
No, and you really don't have a choice, and they've picked up the yardage here a little bit in the second half, but Hillbillies still outgaining them over the course of the game, 266-11. Fredonia's had a well-balanced attack, 128 passing yards versus 138 through the rush game.
That's very well-balanced. So Walsh set the punt, and Whitfield, the deep man. Another nice punt by Walsh. And it takes a Fredonia bounce for a couple yards, gets down at the 39-yard line by Bogdanowicz. So Fredonia with the ball, and it's mainly going to be 2 words. Micah Davis.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything else. They might mix in Ethan Fry a little bit in the run game, maybe throw a pass or two just to keep the sticks moving, because sometimes, in that situation when you're ahead and you have the lead and you want to control the clock, the defense is expecting run all day, every day. So you throw a little dump pass over their head, maybe a tight end pop pass or just a simple slant route. The Southwestern secondary, I think they've been so worried about the deep pass that sometimes they get lost with those underneath routes, and Fry's done a good job of just remaining patient and finding the open guy and also extending plays as well too.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Fredonia at their own 39-yard line. West Seneca West and Williamsville East, their game's still going on. Score still 7-6, and it looks like a 4th and goal attempt was unsuccessful. So it's going to be a timeout called by Fredonia. We'll take a break ourselves. A little more than a minute left in the third. Fredonia up 21-0. More action right after this on WNY Athletics.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
A little more than a minute left in the third as it's a give to Davis, but minimal yardage on the carry. And we do got another score update as for Medina, they're playing Springville. A freshman player for Medina, Jarrell Neely, scores his first ever varsity touchdown, 21-yard run, and the extra point was good. Cole Callard, 9 for 9 on him on the night for Medina. With 11:40 left in the fourth, they're up 65-0. And so Fredonia just not in no hurry, and that is completely understandable being up 21-0 as they are sticking with the pistol formation, 4 wides, 2 on each side. 5 down linemen for Southwestern. Fryo looked to throw. Here's the pass, and it was low, and it's ruled incomplete. Looked like it did indeed hit the turf, so it'll be 3rd down and long for Fredonia. And before we end the third quarter, we do got the Week 5 Players of the Week for the Connolly Cup, and Deion Anderson from St. Joe's, Mason Fournier of Kenmore West, Jaden Lewis who goes to Bennett, Carl Anastasia of Olean, Micah Harry of Lancaster, Noah Skinner of Medina, another one from Kenmore West, Jermaine Atkins, Xander Hind from Randolph. Hind having a very strong season, averaging more than 200 rush yards a game. Max Stoll of Lancaster. The others will come up right after this play here by Fredonia. 23 seconds left in the third. Fry in the pistol again. It'll just be a give to Davis. And gets stopped at the 39-yard line. Main guy in the tackle was Paul Hayes. And the other ones for the County Cup for Week 5, Trevor Berry of Iroquois, Xander Kime of Portville. Kime had that strong performance last week against CSP. He scored the only touchdown of the game. Doug Washington of Burgard, Chris Bergman of Akron, Jeffrey Leeville of Hamburg, and Noah Willoughby of South Park having a strong season for them under center. As 3 quarters have concluded here with Fredonia up 21-0. And we'll be right back for the fourth quarter right after this on WNY Athletics.
With exclusive buyer insights and our 100% money-back guarantee, we're confident we'll find buyers for your home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective pediatric care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
And we're about to start the fourth quarter with Fredonia up 21-0 over Southwestern right here at Charles A. Lawson Field on WNY Athletics. And another final update, Dunkirk, they were able to make the score somewhat respectable against the Golden Cougars of Cassadaga, Falconer, Maple Grove. Final score 49-20 as Bacher's going to be set to punt for Fredonia. That nearly got blocked, but it does cause a high knuckleball pop fly, and it goes out of bounds inside the 40 to the 36-yard line from the referee's marker.
And right now, the Southwestern defense doing everything they can to keep the team in the game. They forced a quick 3-and-out there to end the third quarter, but their offense really hasn't been able to generate much on the night. They've gotten yards. They just haven't been able to keep drives alive. And we've seen them, and one of the keys we talked about was having a short field, having not nearly as great of a distance to go as they did on their first couple drives when they were inside their 10. But over the course of the second and third quarter, they had drives starting out at their own 35, 40-yard line. They haven't been able to cash in, but we also have to give an immense amount of credit to the Fredonia defense. The defense, everyone on the Fredonia defense, the line, the backers, the secondary, they have all played their part in stopping a Southwestern offense that averages over 28 points per game and has put up 40 twice on the year.
So Southwestern's offense about to get another drive going. We just started the fourth quarter after the Bacher punt. It's 1st and 10 for Southwestern at their own 36-yard line. And we also got a couple more score updates. Grand Island, they're taking on Kenmore East. Score of that game, Grand Island up by 1 point, 22-21. And with 6 minutes left in the fourth. And West Seneca West, they just added another touchdown to their lead recently against Williamsville East. They're up now 14-6. As it's going to be shotgun formation again for Southwestern. They kind of abandoned that a little bit in their last couple of drives with Walsh going under center. But he does have a 2-back, 3-wide set, and he'll look to throw. Hanging in the pocket. He's going to go long. He's got a man open, and it's incomplete. That was intended for Brody Larson, and he was stride for stride with the defender on him, and that was Ethan Fry.
And Walsh could not have thrown that any better. He was falling away. That's a deep shot, and Brody Larson had to make a tough adjustment. It was slightly underthrown, but with the way it was underthrown, it gave him a chance to make a catch on the play as Ethan Fry was running well past him. He wasn't able to adjust his body in time and turn around for that, and that's a huge, costly, and unfortunate, not even a mistake, just something that the Trojans wish they could have come up with to set themselves up in striking distance.
I think that was Walsh's best throw of the night, but we do always know Southwestern fans here are packed, but Fredonia has a decent amount of fans in their bleachers as well. As Walsh, he's going to go long again for pass. Oh, what a catch! Went for the ball at the highest point, gets past the 30, and down at the 29-yard line. Ronski on the tackle, and that's got to be the best play of the game by far for Southwestern. Panis jumped high in the air like a high jumper, reeled it in, and makes the catch. Southwestern now deep in Hillbilly territory.
And I think one of the biggest things with Walsh is just a matter of his confidence and understanding that he has the talent. I think he knows he can make throws like that, and that right there, he delivered a laser in the pocket, pressure in his face. Panis coming across the middle, who does make an acrobatic catch, but nonetheless, if we would have seen more of that tonight from the Trojans, the score could be a lot different, and they wouldn't find themselves trying to claw out of a 3-touchdown deficit.
We also saw another quick score update. Final, Jamestown, they pitch a shutout at Frontier. Final score of that was 48-0 as Walsh. He's going to go long again. He does have Miller, but it's too high. Incomplete. And we're seeing, last 3 plays, we've seen Walsh just throw it Air Coryell style, 35, 40 yards in the air. And from looking at that, though, and I've seen him throw a little bit when he was playing Wildcat when Kennedy was a starting quarterback, Walsh does have a cannon.
And that wasn't a bad throw on Walsh's part. And I can relate to what Chris Miller was thinking there. Sometimes as a receiver, you have the temptation to turn and catch. But for Miller, he's just got to keep sticking with that route, keep running, because he turned around and tried to jump for it. If he just took an extra step or two, that one would have dropped right in his number.
Grand Island in their matchup, they just extended their lead 29-21. Touchdown and a converted extra point. This will be a toss sweep to Panis. And he's not going anywhere. Stop behind the line of scrimmage, and it's Atzrott, the main man, on the tackle. And we also have a final score as well. Pioneer, they defeat South Park 21-6. And that was a loss of 4 yards on that play, so it's 3rd and 14, and this is definitely 4-down territory. I still don't understand why you just don't say the name of the play, have them look at it, because, again, you're burning time when you're having your QB go from the sideline to the huddle.
And, yeah, on every play, it takes up around 10 or 15 seconds. You do the math on every play that's happened, they could save themselves a solid 6 or 7 minutes or even more as the game progresses.
Walsh looking, out of the pocket. He's still looking. He'll just throw it, and it is incomplete, intended for Panis. They had a trip stack on the right side, but this is going to be 4th and long with a little more than 10 minutes left in regulation. And again, this is 4-down territory. 4th and 14 coming up for the Trojans.
And on this play, I would like to see good protection up front from the Trojans. If you roll out on a 4th down play, you limit yourself to utilize half the field. If they can block up front for Walsh and he can stand in the pocket, they run some kind of mesh or just crossing routes. Confuse the defense a little bit because they're ready for the go routes at this point. They know it's coming. They know they have to get 14 yards on this play. But if you just have your receivers kind of going everywhere right now, and they go empty right now, as we expect to see some of the wingbacks even run routes here.
Larson was in motion. Here comes the rush. He's going to throw it downfield for Miller, and it's almost intercepted by Fry, but I think it's a good thing he didn't pick that off because he would have given up about 30 yards of field position.
Yeah, at that point, you got to understand for Fry, you just let that one go. I know he's upset with himself, but nonetheless, the defense comes up with another stop, and now it's really gravy train from here on out if you can get a couple first downs. Still 10 minutes on the clock. Can't take the foot off the gas pedal. And the last thing you want to do is have a costly mistake, turn it over to Southwestern, give them a short field. Do what you've been doing. Feed it to Micah Davis, who has been stellar. Maybe even get Samuel Atzrott in there a couple times or two. We saw him on the counter with that touchdown there. He's a workhorse. Kind of plays, I would consider him a fullback, even though he's listed at running back.
And these are two teams, so they can light up the scoreboard. Fredonia, they came in averaging more than 30 points a game. They're close to that mark, as it's going to just be a give to Davis and a flag on the play. Miller on the tackle. It's in the vicinity of holding. And Southwestern, they're averaging more than 28 points a game, but right now they've got a Brooklyn Bagel Factory on the board with that fat 0.
And that's going to be a hold against Fredonia, so move them back based on the spot of the foul. So when did they change that from instead of just being a 10 yards to a spot of the foul, along with a few other penalties? When was that changed exactly?
I know that's been around the whole duration that we have called high school football games for this company. The only penalties that are automatic first downs as well, running into the kicker, running into the punter, running into the holder, or a straight roughing the passer. Those are the only 4 that result in automatic firsts.
And I think that makes sense. A lot of those penalties leave room for potential injury, which is what you hate to see.
Fry with a quick pass and incomplete. Trying to throw one on the flats. It was intended for Jay Hawk, so it'll be 2nd down 17, so it was a 7-yard penalty.
And what another night it's been for Ethan Fry, along with his top receivers, Jamison Quinn and Keegan Whitfield, The two on the year. I mean, Whitfield, 465 yards, Quinn, 259 yards. That was coming into this game. The two combined for 7 touchdowns on the year, and they certainly added on to that tonight.
So pass attempt incomplete, intended for Whitfield. So it's going to be 3rd down 17 for Fredonia. And if you're Fredonia, just do something. Just stay smart. Even if you have to punt it on 4th down, you've got the lead. That's what matters the most.
And I sort of disagree with the play calling going on here from Coach Sherlock, personally. I mean, yeah, even if you run the ball on 2nd and 17, either the clock's going to move or Southwestern's going to use a timeout. You basically give them a free timeout now by throwing 2 incompletions in a row. You're really helping them out at this point.
It'll just be a give to Davis for minimal yard. Oh, ball's loose, and Southwestern's got it. I thought that Davis was down on the play, but it looks like it's otherwise. The referees do have the better view, while we got the best spot in the house in the press box. So here's a chance for Southwestern to get some points on the board. But there is another update. In a battle of 2 0-5 teams, Grand Island, or they're playing Kenmore East. That's now 29-27, so that's turning into a nail-biter if you're a fan of either one of those teams.
Southwestern was just given a miracle right there. They finally get a turnover, something they've done as a defense all year. They average over 4 turnovers a game, and that right there, they have 25 yards to go. If they can score here within a minute or so, they're right back in this game, Norm.
Yeah, they are, but Fredonia has called a timeout. We'll take one ourselves. Stick around for more action of this matchup between Southwestern and Fredonia on WNY Athletic.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
So, Southwestern, they recover a 3rd down fumble by Fredonia. And their team, they average more than 4 takeaways a game. That's their first one of the night there. And 9.5 minutes left in regulation. They can get a touchdown and an onside kick recovery. We may see an interesting 4th quarter. There have been a lot of those in the field of football.
And I know we're kind of planning out the comeback in our heads of all the possible scenarios, but right now, they still got to score, which they haven't done all night, Norm. And they picked up first downs here and there. Right now, you have your playbook at your full disposal. You can run here and there, maybe on 2nd and short to pick up a first down, but Walsh just has to remain calm. And if a play breaks down, get rid of it. Try not to force anything miraculous.
Walsh, he's going to go for the end zone. He's got Panis, but it's overthrown. Another great throw there by Walsh, but just a little too strong. But I see we also got a score update.
It was Franklinville-Ellicottville. Once again, another shutout. 47-0 final score. A lot of points for some teams and a lot of goose eggs for other teams.
And we also had a score update for the Lakeshore game. They finally got a touchdown on the board, so there won't be a shutout in that game tonight. So Southwestern breaks the huddle. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Trojans. And they're going to go in the pistol formation, 4 wides, 2 on each side. And here's a snap. It's going to be a screen pass to Panis, trying to find a gap. He gets to the 20. Runs through a defender and gets to about the 17-yard line. So Panis, one of the bright spots tonight for the Southwestern Trojans. Let's see where the spot's going to be. So it's going to be 3rd down. And Southwestern, they are so close to getting some points on the board. But there's also a flag on the play. It's a personal foul on Fredonia. So that should get Southwestern's offense pumped up a little bit.
And right now, Walsh, 12 of 25, 99 yards. Trojans now 142 yards of total offense. So, and is that going to be
The resulting
You said it was on Fredonia, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the resulting yardage of the penalty will result in a first down because it was just second down and 10. And personal fouls are 15. So this is a break here for Southwestern. And it's very rare, though, seeing the Trojans behind here at home because way more often than not, they're posting win after win after win here at Charles A. Lawson Field.
Yeah, and like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, ever since that loss to Iroquois where a young man by the name of Trevor Berry, running back for the Chiefs, he gashed him in that game. And it was a non-league matchup, so obviously it mattered, but it was sort of a preseason game for Southwestern. They went on a tear after that. They've won 4 straight, and they're trying to make it 5 straight tonight, but they got to do that by first scoring here and then either a huge special teams play and getting a stop on defense.
So first and goal at the 8-4 Southwestern. Walsh under pressure, escapes the pocket, throws for the end zone. He's got Lemp, and he makes the catch. That's a touchdown for Southwestern, and they finally get some points.
We got to give credit to Jameson Walsh on that play because he's rolling out to his right off his back foot. He has Samuel Atstrott chasing him down like a wolf. He's able to throw that one. It was a little wobbly, but Cameron Lemke is able to finds just the soft spot in the back of the end zone there. Got wide open, makes a great catch, tiptoes the feet, and we got a 21-7 ball game. But like we said, Norm, it's either going to come up to special teams. Do you think you need to necessarily onside kick it here, or do you trust your defense?
I'd say give the onside kick because Davis, when he's had the gaps, he's been gutting it like a fish. I'd say try the onside kick, as the extra point was good by Hoos, and for Lemke, that's his 5th touchdown catch of the year. A third of his receptions have gone for touchdowns. 15 catches, 5 for scores. So it looks like we're about to have a final score here in just a moment. Less than 10 seconds left between West Seneca West and Williamsville East. Looks like West Seneca West is going to walk away with a 14-6 victory. But if I'm Southwestern, though, you got to onside kick this.
At first, I was thinking, you still have 3 timeouts, 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter. That's an eternity. That's plenty of time if you're able to come up with a 3-and-out. But I have to agree with you based on the way that Micah Davis has sort of had his way with the Trojan defense tonight. And one thing to mention here, Nevis Hoos, the Hoos family runs deep in Southwestern roots.
Does.
All of them are soccer players. I would presume Nevis Hoos is as well.
Yes,
so
he is. I broadcasted a couple games where he played soccer.
Being a soccer player, you're also a kicker in football. You know what you're doing with your feet and your legs. So we'll see what he does here. Right now, based on his stance, maybe they just don't want to show it. We'll have to see what he does here. It's going to be interesting.
And it's an outside kick. It bounced off for another player. It looks like the Trojans got it. I think they got it, and they did. Onside kick successful by Nevis Hoos, and it looked like from my trajectory, it was recovered. It was recovered by one of the up men for Southwestern, and there we go, 21-7, 8:58 left in regulation. Trojans with the ball on the onside kick. And again, I agree with that decision. Now, you need to score quickly here. I would say use no more than 3 minutes of clock. 2 minutes would be acceptable.
Yeah, it looked like that was number 16, Ryan Chapman. It bounced off what I saw. It was number 58, Matt Cash.
Yeah, that's what I saw, yeah.
Just bounced right off his shoulder pad into the hands of Chapman. And Norm, it's getting kind of scary. It's almost like we predicted this and manifested it, ultimately speaking into existence.
Tony Romo squared, baby. That's us.
Here we are again. Trojans from the Hillbilly 49-yard line. And you don't have to get this touchdown right away, but you still got to have a sense of urgency. You don't want to burn too much clock because if your next onside kick doesn't work, you still want to have a chance on defense.
Walsh looking to throw, staying in the pocket. Now he escapes it. He's going to throw a deep one. And there was a bit of a tussle between Whitfield and Panis, but there's going to be no flag on that as it was let the players play. And I agree with that. You have to let them play. And Walsh trying to avoid the sack. He just throws it up into no man's land. So it's 2nd down 10.
And that's scary because that one had the height of a punt, You just got to cut your losses with that one thrown away. But number 6, Keegan Whitfield, got hurt on the coverage there. So his substitution is going to be Tim Field coming in at the other cornerback.
Yeah, Tim Field, he had a nice catch on Fredonia's touchdown drive in the third quarter. Trips in the far side. Walsh will keep it. Evades one defender. Picked up a nice block, and he'll get to the 46-yard line. Fans wanted a horse collar, but from my view, he got the shoulder pad.
That one easily could have gone for a loss, but that was a great. I heard the pads crack on that one. Sam Arrington blocking for Walsh, setting the edge. At least he's able to pick up a few yards, set up 3rd and 7. Clock stops, going out of bounds, so just take your time, catch your breath. Obviously, the fatigue and the cramps, they're going to start to play a factor into this. And at least they're on the near side, so Walsh doesn't have to run too far to get the play.
And it was Isaac Stanford that had the tackle for Fredonia, so 3rd and 7, that does beat 3rd and 10. And again, it'll be a trips on the far side and one receiver on the near side. It is one-on-one coverage. It's Panis. He's the single receiver as Walsh will look to throw. Here comes the curl. It's complete to Panis. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another one. He gets to the 35. Centers the field. Gets to the 31-yard line. Chain gang. Move those chains. That's a first down.
And Matt Panis, he is one of the better players. He's one of the top players on this Trojan team. He's brought a lot of life so far here in the second half, making catches, making plays in space. You saw him on that hitch route. Made 2 or 3 guys miss with a little inside juke to turn that from a 6-yard gain into a first down and then some. And right now the Trojans in business. The Fredonia defense sort of on their heels for the first time in their game. We're going to have to see how they respond with a little pressure on their shoulders now.
And Walsh looking to throw again. He's got time. He's got a man's pass. He makes the catch to the 5, and he's in for a touchdown. And the fourth quarter, the tide's turning. The mere
thing they could have done. Now the momentum has taken a 180-degree shift, and there's still 8 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock. You don't have to think about an onside kick right now.
Oh, no.
Not even close. Now you got to trust your defense, who has given you the opportunities, came up with that turnover. It all started with that fumble recovery. If it weren't for that fumble recovery and Fredonia picking up more first downs, we would not be in this position right now.
extra point by Who's is good. Only 1 minute and 51 seconds burn off that clock. And a touchdown pass from Walsh to Matt Panis. And for Panis, that's his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. And things are getting interesting here. 21-14. This time, you got so much time left, you need to pop this one deep.
And with 3 timeouts, too, even if Fredonia gets a first down or 2, you don't have to panic. So you stick with what you've been doing all game defensively, but you have to get pressure in the box. Your defensive line and linebackers got to step up. We haven't seen much of Mitch Pike or Paul Hayes or some of the guys who really anchor that defense at the linebacker position. It's been up to the secondary doing everything they can to cover, but Micah Davis has had his way, and I assume he's going to try and get Fredonia back in rolling speed with some momentum. We'll see if he can get a first few downs, but what a game and how the tides have turned. This makes for some really interesting football.
This is the best kind of football to call. Even though there's going to be blowouts every now and again, shootouts are always exciting. But again, if I'm Nevis Who's, I'm popping this one deep. You got a lot of time left now. You used only 1 minute and 51 seconds. Kick this deep. Trust the defense. Let's see if they can get them a 3 and out. And you have plenty of time to score another touchdown. So Who's about to go total leather again for the Trojans. Here's the kick. This one's a poocher. Not a bad kick. Right to no man's land. It's still live. And, oh no, they're calling it dead. I thought he was in bounds because after 10 yards, it's a live ball. I thought that was going to be Southwestern ball. Nobody was there for Fredonia. It was right at the Bermuda Triangle, right at no man's land. But I think they're saying the guy that recovered it was out of bounds.
Yeah, you saw Fry and Davis there. They showed no effort from their part. It looked like it went out of bounds. But you saw the Southwestern players, they were streaking down the field trying to recover one of the deepest onside kicks I've ever seen. That rolled out right around the, looks like the ref standing at the 24, 25 yard line potentially, but huge break for Fredonia there. And if you're Coach Sherlock, you got to put that one behind you because that easily could have put Southwestern in striking distance once again. So here we are, Fredonia at their own 35-yard line. They got to respond to the Trojans striking back.
Let's see what they do. The fans are getting loud here again at Southwestern. Fry takes a snap, he'll throw, and that's caught! Pass complete again to Jamison Quinn. He's had a busy night, and a quick score update. Clymer Sherman Pamo, the Wolfpack, they're playing Frewsburg on the road. CSP's up 41-7 after 3 quarters of play. They're looking to avenge their 9-3 loss to Portville during their homecoming game last week.
And Fry, not showing any signs of nerves, delivers a strike to Quinn going across the middle. You're right, he has had a busy night and been the go-to guy for Fry.
And a flag on the play. It's a dead ball penalty. This could be false start. Usually is. Flag got thrown. Let's see what the penalty's all about. The officials having a conference. We're just waiting to see what it is. It's going to be offsides on Fredonia. So one of the receivers or linemen may have lined up over the ball. That does happen sometimes, though. I don't see a blue moon in the sky because that's how rare it is.
Yeah, it does not happen often. I thought maybe Jim Barber was kind of just not pointing in the right direction for a second, signaled offsides. I was like, oh, okay, that's on the Trojans. But, oh, wait, he's pointing in the backfield for the Hillbillies. So 1st and 15. They haven't been behind the sticks often, but now Southwestern once again given a golden opportunity. Keep everything in front of you, stay disciplined on the run, and have your guys in coverage who have been doing a great job this game. Matt Panis, Declan Kennedy, they've done a great job in coverage.
So defense loosens up a little bit. Fry looking to throw. Here comes a rush. He gets away. He's going to run. We haven't seen him do it a lot. Here's a throw, wide open field. He makes the catch, and he goes out of bounds. If he was able to keep his footing, he could have possibly taken that to the end zone. Even so, it's a completion of field, his second catch of the game.
Once again, Ethan Fry extending plays with his legs, avoids the pressure in the pocket, and he connected with Tim Field on that one, a name we haven't called too much, but he's right around the 3rd or 4th receiver that Fry typically goes to, and you're right, Norm. If his momentum didn't carry him out of bounds, he was walking down the sideline for an easy touchdown.
Fans getting a little louder here on our end. We're on the Southwestern side of it. Fry rolling out of the pocket. He'll just throw, and incomplete, dangerously close getting picked off. One of the guys on coverage was Hayes. So very fortunate, better an incompletion than an interception. Plenty of time left in regulation. 7:27 left, 2nd down and 10. And we got a whole new ball game.
And I'm curious as to why we haven't seen too much of Micah Davis on this drive so far, or even Ethan Fry with just some keepers, because even if you don't score here, pick up this 1st down, you at least want to milk some clock to where if Southwestern does get the ball back, they have to go in hurry-up mode.
And Fry looking. He's going to go downfield. It was deflected, but incomplete. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down for Fredonia.
Yeah, you saw some of the Fredonia players. They wanted a pass interference call on that, but if the ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, then that waves off any holding, pass interference, or any other call in the secondary that might normally be called. But once again, another pass play steering away from the run, and
I don't understand why.
If they don't come up with it here, they're just giving Southwestern all this time on the clock and the momentum.
Trojans are showing the blitz. Someone nearly jumped, but they got back in time. Well, if they would have ran the ball at least once, that clock would be running. So this is big for Southwestern if they can get a stop here. 3rd down and 10, and a false start. That's going to be on Whitfield. That will not, the snap won't count. The flag was called. It's a dead ball foul. So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, being 3rd and 15. And I guess the fans got so loud that Fry couldn't hear the play.
Yeah, and Whitfield, I don't think he was aware of the snap count either. That play did take a while to happen there. as we don't have access to a play clock, unfortunately, so we can't tell everyone when that's winding down and when the play needs to get off. But 3rd and 15 here, Norm. And now you put yourself in a passing situation. Fry goes empty.
Yep, trips at the far, or the near side, 2 on the far. It's another, somebody jumped off, but there's no call. Fry looking, here comes the rush. He throws one up for grabs, the pop fly in the air, and it's intercepted. It's picked off. Intercepted on the play by Brody Larson. And Fry would have been better off taking the sack. Why would you throw a pop fly 30 yards in the air? He would have been better off taking the sack and punting. But that's probably the equivalent of a punt either way. But still, you're better off taking the sack and burning the clock.
And Brody Larson, free safety, that's what you do back there when you're the man. You're the last line of defense. You're a ball hawk. Whenever you don't typically have a guy in coverage, but whenever that ball's in the air, you're breaking out of your back pedal, out of your back step. You're breaking on that ball trying to make a play. That time, he got a lollipop in the air, just wins the game, a jackpot. Southwestern with the ball, 7:21 on the clock, trying to tie it up.
Trips on the near side, trips to the left. Walsh will look to throw. He's come alive here in the 4th. Going downfield, it's caught. And that's Panis with the reception. Crosses the 35 to around the 37-yard line. And Jamison Walsh coming alive here in the 4th quarter.
That's going to put Walsh at 16 of 30 on the night for 154 yards. So after a struggle in the first half, he has really gotten together. I don't know what Coach Burkholder said to him at halftime, but whatever it was, it worked, and they need to do more of it in the first half so they don't have to climb out of holes like this. But why not get in a hole and make it interesting, right, with a potential comeback here on senior night?
Maybe there was like, okay, fall behind on purpose, we're going to come back.
And I correct myself after that one. That puts them at 170 on the night after that 16-yard gain.
Same formation as last time. Trips on the left and one receiver right. That is Panis one-on-one. Walsh looking. Here comes a rush. He's going to take off. Avoids one defender but can't get away from the other. And he'll be sacked back at the 35, but it's only for minimal yardage. Only a 2-yard loss approximately. So not a devastating sack on the play by Fredonia.
And if you're the Hillbillies, you're looking around at each other like, what the heck happened? We were just in control of this game, up 21-0. We had the ball. We were about to pick up a first down and keep driving and potentially put this one away. Now we got to come up with a stop so Southwestern doesn't tie it up.
2nd down and 12 for Southwestern. They're at their own 41-yard line. They're 59, or from their 36, I beg your pardon. They're 64 yards away from a potential game-tying score. Trips on the far side this time. Walsh will take the snap, looks to throw. He's got plenty of time. He'll throw one on the wheel. Is complete to Panis. He's got one of the 2 touchdown catches in the 4th quarter, and that does make it 3rd down and manageable. They got roughly half of the yardage.
And right now, with the way that Southwestern's running this tempo, they're in obvious passing situations. And I would like to see one of the linebackers from Fredonia just take away some of those inside routes. Here, especially on an obvious 3rd and short. But right now, some of the other receivers for Southwestern are going to have to step up because they're going to start keying in on Panis. You already see the safety's leaning to his side right now, but it's man-on-man coverage, one-on-one on the other side.
Here's a throw that is incomplete. That was intended for Miller, but I did also was going to say Lemke was out in the slot too. He's got the other touchdown catch, and he's had a few receptions tonight from Walsh, but you got to go for it here. It's 4th down and 4 for the Trojans, and this could be the ball game right here. A timeout, though, has been called by Southwestern, and looks like we're going to take a quick one ourselves, but stick around for the conclusion. We're up next on WNY Athletics.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent.
Just a little while ago, what looked like was going to be a Fredonia victory. It was 21-0 at one point, but Southwestern's cut it to a touchdown. 21-14. It's 4th down and 4 at the 36. Or at the 42, excuse me. Here's the throw. Caught by Panis. He's got more than enough for the first down. Shimmies away from a defender and brought down at the 37-yard line on the play by Davion White. That's enough for another first down. And if you're Southwestern, you don't necessarily need to be in a super rush because you don't want to give Fredonia too much time, but you still need to lightly flutter that urgency button.
If they end up coming out on top in this one, Norm, it's going to be because of the connection that Jamison Walsh and Matt Panis have established over the course of this game. Panis, an excellent route runner, really tearing up the secondary for Fredonia, as well as Walsh, who has come alive here in the second half, started clicking, and he just got his confidence back and built a rhythm. And you see him standing strong in the pocket as opposed to the first game where he would try to escape the second a man was in his face.
Here comes the throw. It's caught by Lemke, but very minimal yardage. And the tackle on the play for Fredonia was by Micah Davis. He's been pretty quiet in this quarter, but that's not on him because Fredonia, they chose to mainly throw the ball on their last drive. So the completion was only for 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 with about 4 minutes left in regulation. For all the viewers watching this game, do not X out of your laptop or your TV if you're watching YouTube on that, because this is going to be a photo finish right here. Southwestern, they're at Fredonia's 37-yard line, and they are so close to getting into the end zone for a possible game-tying score.
And once again, Walsh took some time to get that play developed. You see them go right out of the huddle as we're going to have a timeout here.
Timeout called by Southwestern. I wonder if it was maybe a miscommunication, but we're going to stick around right here, and 3:39 left in regulation play. It's 2nd down and 8 for Southwestern. They are deep in Fredonia territory. They're threatening to score again. For anybody just tuning in, here's a quick recap. It was 21-0 in the 4th quarter to start it. And Walsh finds Cameron Lemke for a touchdown pass. Extra point good, 21-7. And then, on the ensuing kickoff, Nevis Hughes onsides it. Southwestern recovers. It's deflected off of upman Matt Cash. And then Matt Panis caught the next touchdown pass. But I do hear that we got a score update as well.
Yeah, it was a huge win for Depew. They handled Eden in a close one of the closer ones over the course of the night, 32-21 final score over there. And in terms of what Fredonia was doing on these last couple drives with their play calling, I could understand if the run game wasn't working because you do have a veteran, not so much a veteran quarterback. He plays like one, though, but you have a very talented quarterback in Ethan Fry who can make those throws. But what Micah Davis has done on the ground tonight, I don't know why you don't just give him the rock and maybe if a play gets stopped, then go to the air. But 3 consecutive pass plays, you gave it right back to Southwestern.
If they would have ran it, the clock probably would be half as what it is now. But here's the snap. Looking to throw is Walsh. He's going to go downfield. He's got a man deep, but it's incomplete. And Panis was blanketed by 2 defenders. It was Fry and Whitfield on the coverage, so it's going to be 3rd down and 8. The main goal for this is at least get half the yardage.
Yeah, you don't have to get it all in this one, and for the rest of this drive, Panis is going to have 2 defenders wherever he goes, and that's going to free up some other guys on the outside in terms of Chris Miller, Griff Bogdanowicz, and even Cameron Lemke. He's gotten a couple targets tonight. He does have the touchdown, but we haven't called his name too much, so he's going to have to make some. He's actually the leading receiver on this team, so he's going to have to start to make some big plays here, as well as the other starting receivers.
Yeah, if there's a double coverage, one receiver will most likely be open. It's going to be a trips on the near side as Walsh will look to throw. He's looking. Here comes the rush. Evades it. He can take off, but here comes the throw, and it's almost intercepted. nearly picked off by Davis, and it almost nearly deflected into the hands of Lemk. But again, this could be the ball game here. 3:26 left in regulation. 4th down and 8 coming up for Southwestern. They did convert a 4th down just 4 plays ago.
And the killer was the miscommunication with the play call leading up to that 2nd down play. They had to burn another timeout. The first one they burned was to talk about that other 4th down play that they converted. So now you're left with 1 timeout. If you don't get this 1st down, Fredonia picks up 1 up through their offense. This one is likely over with. So I think what we thought was the ball game earlier, I think this right here is the ball game, Norm.
It's going to be 4th down and 8, ball at the 37-yard line. Walsh looking. He's got time. He's going to throw one downfield. It's caught by Miller, and he's got the 1st down. Pass was caught by Chris Miller, and how about 2 4th down conversions for Southwestern? Chain gang, move the chains. It is enough for a 1st, and 3:21 left and counting. The Trojans are still alive. Cinderella has a pulse.
So it was ruled a 1st down. The refs were having a chit-chat over something. I'm not sure what it was. You can see Coach Sherlock, he is absolutely irate on the sidelines right now. I'm not sure what it was.
Well, the clock was still running, and when you get a 1st down, it momentarily stops. But there is still 3 minutes left, plenty of time to get a touchdown. They are near the Hillbilly red zone. Look, and it's going to be a design sweep for Walsh. He gets out of bounds at around the 24, so that does stop the clock.
And that's a good play call on 1st down, pick up a couple yards, because they've had to convert some long ones here just to extend this drive. And that you get your mobile quarterback to the outside, near side of the field, stop the clock, set up 2nd and 7. Last thing you want to do is have to try and convert another 4th and 8 or 4th and 9, which we have seen them do with success. But you want to keep moving the sticks, set up. You want to be converting 3rd downs, not 4th downs. 2:52 on the clock, 1 timeout.
That was a gain of 3 on the run by Walsh, and they're going to be keeping an eye defensively on Panis. He's had a big 4th quarter. 2 edge rushers shown for Fredonia. Walsh looking to throw. He's going to throw one far side that is caught, and heading out of bounds once again is Larson, who had the interception to end the last drive by Fredonia. He had the interception on the pop fly where he could have had a gold glove. So he does get the 1st down, 2:45 left in regulation, and Southwestern making it interesting here.
Walsh,
we might as well have to call this, though, the miracle at Charles A. Lawson.
Walsh had 42 passing yards in the 1st half. He now sits at 220 on the night, 21 of 38. What a turnaround it's been for number 8.
178 pass yards in the 2nd half for Walsh alone, and most of that's here in the 4th quarter. And he's going to have a trips on the far side, and it is, from what I see, Larson, Panis, and Lemk. And there's also a 4th wide receiver, so a bit of an overload as Walsh will look to throw. Here comes the blitz. He's going to throw for the end zone. Incomplete. There was a tussle in the end zone, but looks like there's going to be no flag on it. But it is only 2nd down, though.
Norm, I had a better view, and Lemk, that's what they had, 4 receivers to the far side. You saw Cameron Lemk, tight end. He was the only receiver on that side. They were trying to get him on what was either a deep out or a corner out that would have been a touchdown. He just fell down when he was trying to break. There was no sorts of penalty there. They were going to that the whole way. I saw that coming, getting one-on-one coverage with your tall receiver. Just throw it up, let him make a play. But unfortunately, number 21 fell down, so that's going to set up 2nd and 10.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for Southwestern. This time it's just a trips on the far side. Larson one-on-one. Walsh looking to throw again. Here comes the blitz. He needs to throw it away. Here's the pass, and that's what he'll do. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10, and Fredonia, they're showing the blitz. 2:37 left in regulation. 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Southwestern can get a 1st down without scoring. They would need to get inside the 2-yard line right now. 3rd and 10, you don't want to be thinking about, right now it is kind of like backyard football, though. You're on the Fredonia 13-yard line, in a condensed field like this, it is harder to make plays. You have less field to work with. It's about if the receivers are not there initially, if they're not there initially on the routes, extend the play, roll out, and it's also on the receiver's part to come back to your quarterback. You can't just stand there and wait for him to throw to you. If he's rolling out for his life, you got to come back to him and give him a target.
You got to improvise. 3rd and 10, looking to throw. Walsh, here's the rush. He's going to take off and run. He's to the 10. Breaks away from it under the 5. He's to the 2. He broke the plane. He broke the plane. Touchdown. Jamison Walsh, what an effort. Broke away. They're kicking it.
Think about how far they have gotten to this point, where it all started, the 4th downs they had to convert, the plays they had to make, the stops on defense they had to get. If they were to come up short on the 2-point conversion, that would just be deflated.
Here's the extra point, and that's good. We are tied. 21 all, 21 unanswered points in the 4th quarter by Southwestern. And 2:29, that's plenty of time for Fredonia to answer. So defensively, you need to keep your foot in the gas. You can't just kick back and relax.
Absolutely not. Hillbillies only have 1 timeout remaining, and now you got to find a way to gather yourself. Circa 8 minutes of game clock ago, you were up 21-0. You were in full control of this game. A simple fumble recovery by Micah Davis, who has had a stellar night. Fredonia's balanced it on offense well. They're just shy of 300 yards of offense, 159 through the air, 27 rushes, 138 yards. Micah Davis has done his job, but now they got a 2:29, 1 timeout. A run can be used here and there, but they have to be careful too, because if they give it back to Southwestern, they can lose this game in regulation, and that would just be the most deflating thing for a team who came out, set the tone on defense, executed on offense, played a flawless first half. At least a very, very close to flawless, minus a few minor mistakes. But they were thinking about getting to 5-1 on the year, getting to 3-1 in C-South, pending the Salamanca game, being in either 1st or 2nd in the division. And right now, they are facing the threat of potentially falling from 3rd place and just letting Southwestern remain at the top of C-South, but still plenty of time left.
Yes, there is, and if they can force a 3 and out, Nevis Hoos, he's got a rocket for a leg. You just need 3, but here's a beautiful kick. That's going to be a touchback, and that just confirmed my point. The good news is if you can force a 3 and out, you only need 3. You don't need 6. It's tied up. If they can get 3 before the end of regulation along with the stop, this would be a comeback of the year for Chautauqua Lake High, or for Chautauqua area high school football. And this looked like it was not going to be one of the games of the week, but the 4th quarter, that completely shifted the table on that.
Depending on what happens here tonight, we're going to have to go into the record books and see when the last time a 3-touchdown deficit was overturned, not even in just the game. I'm sure that's happened plenty of times, but in the 4th quarter, I mean, the odds of that, it has been a perfect 4th quarter for Southwestern. It could not have gone any better than it has.
Now the defense needs to be hungry. Fry looking to throw. Looking. He's going to take off and scramble. Left coming in on the pressure. Fry, he's going to throw it up for grabs. It's a pop fly, and it's caught! And Field breaks a tackle. He's the 35 down to the 32. Tim Field with another clutch reception for Fredonia. And Fry dangerously close to throwing another interception that was pop fly style.
And Ethan Fry didn't learn his lesson from that last interception, but this time it worked out because Tim Field was wide open. And what seemed to be how Fry was going to escape and just run to the right side of the field, pick up a couple yards, backs up. The defense loses coverage. They lose sight of the receivers. And Tim Field just gets behind him, and now Fredonia's in striking distance.
Yeah, they are, and Southwestern just called their last timeout. They've got none left. 2:14 left in regulation. A huge completion from Ethan Fry to Tim Field. Field came in with only 4 catches on the season. He's got 3 tonight, 2 of them in the 4th quarter.
And now Fredonia, you can run or pass. You can get Micah Davis involved, which you have lacked to do here in the second half, because you're looking at the 33-yard line right now. Plenty of time on the clock. What was a 2-minute offense is now back to your normal offense. You can sort of work with whatever you have in the playbook. So for Fredonia, the key here is if this is to go perfect for Fredonia, you take some time off the clock. We're not really sure we know they have a solid kicker in Tabone. We're not quite sure what his range is in terms of a field goal. So if they can pick up a first down here, they wouldn't necessarily need a touchdown. It'd be interesting to see if they were content to take a knee and just set up Tabone for a potential game winner.
I do know I've seen Who's make a 38-yarder before for Southwestern. But here comes a chance of defense to give to Davis. Davis trying to find room, but he's going to get stopped by Panis. And there's a flag on the play. There was also a fumble. On the play. Southwestern
has the ball.
There's a flag. There is a flag as well. We got to see what the penalty's all about. If it's on Fredonia, this will be Southwestern ball.
And
Davis coughed it up.
With the way it looks, I think it's going to be against the Trojans.
We'll have to see what the flag's all about. Fumble recovery was by Southwestern, but there was a flag thrown around the time it occurred. We're just waiting to see what this penalty is all about, but what a finish this will be here tonight at Charles A. Lawson Field. Fredonia looked like they had this one in the bag, 21-0. Southwestern says, not on my watch, 21 unanswered in the fourth. And the referee's pointing towards the Fredonia side.
But with the body language of the Trojan players, you saw a lot of them with their hands on their helmets in just an utter disbelief.
We just got to see what this flag's about. Unless it's possible offsetting. The flag was thrown at around the 32-yard line.
But it's a long conversation going on, and rightfully so. You got to get this call right, because this changes the outcome of the game, whether this goes back to Southwestern or Fredonia maintains possession.
For fans of either team, you're probably biting your nails down to the bare nubs of the fingers. But let's see what this flag's all about. It's going to be a face mask on Southwestern, so this will remain Fredonia ball. And that's a big break for the Hillbillies, because right on the tackle, the flag was thrown, and the sideline of Fredonia, they're cheering, and they've got a chance now. 2:08 left in regulation, and that's a 15-yard penalty. That's going to put them in the red zone.
But they got so lucky with that one, they almost spoon-fed the victory to Southwestern.
Wait a minute, Southwestern's offense is coming out. Unless they're rewarded the fumble recovery. If they're rewarded the recovery, they got a chance.
No, so right now, Walsh is still on the sideline.
It looked like he was coming out.
So it remains.
Oh, there he is. This might be their ball. What is that? No, I beg your pardon. No, it's not. It looked like that.
I'm confused here.
This is confusing.
It's
for. Look. No. Let's see here.
We're still waiting to see.
We're waiting to see.
We're still waiting to see whose ball it is. We don't know.
It looks. From my view, it looks like it's going to remain Fredonia's.
So it is Fredonia's ball. Walsh is just coming in on defense. But I think it looks like the Southwestern offense is lined up.
That is a Southwestern offense. They're on a trips on the near side.
So
I am confused right now. This almost looks like the shuffling of a Rorschach test. This looks like this could be either team's ball.
We're confused here, as I think both head coaches, both teams, everyone here watching this game tonight is confused.
From the way it's looking, it looks like Southwestern's offense is out there. And hypothetically, should it be Southwestern's ball? The good thing is you only need 3. Because their offense is out there and Fredonia's defense is out there. Because Whitfield's standing there obviously at safety.
So the officials have a lot of cleanup work to do here to try and get this one right.
Southwestern ball, I saw the referee indicate Southwestern's way, so this looks like it's their ball.
So what a turn of events. The team we said that forces turnovers all year, 21 on the year, plus 2 tonight, 2 fumble recoveries. Make that 20 fumble recoveries on the year, and they could potentially come back and win this one after being down by 3 touchdowns. They just got gifted the opportunity to come back, go down, either a game-winning field goal or touchdown here on senior night. and I couldn't think of a better way to do it on the last game in my home field.
And this is Southwestern's ball. So here we go. Again, you only need a field goal. And again, he's got a rocket for a foot. Walsh in the pistol. He's going to try and run for some yards. And he'll break one tackle, but he'll get tackled at around the 27-28. You have no timeouts left, though. That's the catch. You can stop the clock momentarily every first down, so they need to start doing that. And if you're Fredonia, play a little man up 3 deep. Allow the center of the field, but cover the sidelines. Keep Southwestern in bounds.
And Walsh was hobbling as he's going over to talk to his offensive coordinator. You can see this game is taking a toll on him. He's put his blood, sweat, and tears on the line so far. And right now, you want to be careful because if you make a mistake with the deep pass, you give it right back to Fredonia. At this point with the momentum, I wonder if Southwestern is content to play for overtime if they don't get a few big plays here.
Well, you're on your home turf. That's the best way to do it. Walsh looking. Here comes the rush. And almost intercepted. That was nearly picked off on the play by Davion White. And we got 1 minute and 16 seconds left in regulation. It's going to be 3rd down. And from what I see, Fredonia has only 1 timeout left. The Trojans have none. Honestly, I think the best bet would be just play it safe. Even if it's just a handoff for a few yards, it's better to punt it away 3 and out than a turnover because that was near devastating right there.
I think you work the wide side of the field. We know Panis is very elusive. Maybe run him on some kind of sweep to the far side. Let him get out in space. If he picks up a first down, great. If not, tell him if he knows he's going to be short of the first down, fall down, force Fredonia to use that last timeout.
So looking to throw. Walsh, he's got a guy, but it's too high, incomplete. Southwestern wanted illegal contact. There would be no PI because it was not a catchable ball. The only other 2 possibilities would be holding or illegal contact. Neither are called. It's going to be 4th down, and that stops the clock. I think they would have been better off handing it off and making Fredonia burn that last time out or milk some of the clock. And Walsh, he's been moving the ball pretty well as the punter, have him punt 1 deep.
Lucky for Jameson Quinn, that ball was uncatchable. Otherwise, he's getting flagged for either holding or pass interference in the secondary, and it's an automatic first down for Southwestern. Now Fredonia's getting it back, still 1:12, and it's going to be NASCAR mode for them as soon as they get this back.
Here comes the punt by Quinn. That was almost blocked, but he's able to get a good bounce on this. To the 35, to the 30, rolling to the 25. Cue to theme the rawhide. The ball's rolling. It'll be down and around the 23-yard line, so 77 yards away from a winning touchdown. And I'd say about 55, 60 yards if you want to try and give Tabone a shot for a game-winning field goal.
And if you're Fredonia, are you content to play for overtime, or since you have had all the momentum and the life force sucked out of your team, do you try to avoid overtime and put the nail in the coffin here with an answer to a nightmare second half and especially a nightmare fourth quarter with the way the tides have turned here?
If I'm Fredonia, the one thing I would say though is, and I'm sure you agree with me on this, Colin, don't throw it across your body. 1 pick already happened for Larson from that, and very luckily Field was at the right place at the right time for the other one.
Yeah, Ethan Fry's got to learn from that pass mistake.
He's looking to throw. He's going to try and find a guy. It is complete, and they do keep him in bounds. It is Quinn, but the clock's still going. Less than 50 seconds left, so it was not enough for the first.
That's the key right there. They got him short of a first down. If you're the receiver, you gotta have the whereabouts of where the first down marker is. You got to run that route. You can't slant that back across the first down marker because that clock's moving. 30 seconds now.
They burned about 20 seconds for that play. Left on the rush. Fry, take it off. He better get out of bounds. He's to the 35, and he'll get out of bounds at around the 38-yard line. 22 seconds left in regulation. It is enough for a first down, and Fredonia, they do have 1 timeout left, but I got to say, that was not a good job managing the clock. They burnt about 25, 30 seconds between calling the play and snapping the ball.
Well, the good news is here, having that 1 timeout so you can work the middle of the field with this play, but after you burn that timeout, then you got to start working the sidelines. Be conscious of how many plays you have left so time doesn't escape from you.
And here comes the blitz again. Fry looking. He's going to take off. Here's a throw. Incomplete. So the defense turning up the heat on Fry. And he got hit as he threw it. It was a clean hit. It's going to be second down with 16 seconds left in regulation. Could we see a game-winning score? Could we see overtime? We'll just have to wait and see with these final 16 seconds.
Norm, you see the passion Southwestern's playing with now. Number 51, Paul Hayes, all over the field. Middle linebacker, one of the captains on this team. You see him going around, dapping up his teammates. What a game it's been.
Probably one of the games of the year. Fry will throw. It's going to be a wheel route. It is complete the field. With that catch, he's doubled his season total. That's his 4th of the game. And it does stop the clock with 11 seconds left. It's going to make it third down, though. So Southwestern, they need to get a stop here because Fredonia gets that first down. They also got that one timeout. So I would say if they get the first, once that clock starts, they'll call it. And then if it's too far for a field goal, toss up that Hail Mary.
And with that Hail Mary, you have the potential of drawing a penalty for potentially an untimed down, too, as well.
Fry in an empty backfield, trips on the near side, 2 on the far. Fry will look to throw, looking, still in the pocket. Now he escapes. Here's the rush. Throws one up for grabs downfield for Whitfield. Incomplete. And with 2 seconds left, I'd say, why not give it a shot? It's 4th down. Just throw one deep downfield. And if it's picked off right in the spot and you tackle the guy, we go to OT. So no harm, no foul.
And this is no shame to number 8, Ethan Fry. But I have to predict that he doesn't have the arm strength to get this one completely to the end zone. So honestly, what I would do here is run some kind of hook and ladder or just
razzle-dazzle.
A little razzle-dazzle, yeah. Have the receivers run some deep, 20 to 30-yard in routes and then just play pitch and catch from there. Because then with a jump ball, say Southwestern comes down with an interception, you run the risk of a pick 6.
Yeah, because they'll be lateraling it a few times too. But I'm sure they would also be content because they're on their home stadium, their home field. You would rather go overtime at home than on the road.
And we have a timeout here for Fredonia. They're going to spend their final one. We're going to stay here. You see Jameson Walsh is going to play in the secondary here. He doesn't typically start on defense. They like to just use him on offense, but he's going to be a ball hawk for them. Make sure the Fredonia receivers don't come down with this one.
You ever watch NFL Primetime, Colin?
Oh, yeah.
Whenever Chris Berman and TJ would talk about it, hey, TJ, what is the number one thing you do on defense with a Hail Mary? You knock it down!
Yeah. Everyone's so worried about the stats. They want to get an interception, but that leads to either it bouncing off your shoulder pads or it goes through your hands. And then, what do you know? A 1 in a million chance of it falling into the offensive receiver's hands, and you just lost the game because you made a selfish play.
That's actually something weird that happened. Over a decade ago, don't mean to go an NFL throwback on everybody, but when David Garrard was a starter for Jacksonville, he threw up a Hail Mary into the end zone against Houston. Glover Quinn was a defensive back. He tried batting the ball down, but when he did, it went right into the hands of the receiver, Mike Thomas. Game-winning 50-yard touchdown.
Sometimes, Norm, when you bring up these flashbacks, I have no idea what you're talking about. The funny thing is, that one I actually do remember very vividly.
Well, I do got 6 years of age over you, but this is it right here, 4th down.
Final play of regulation.
If I'm Fry, you got to try and throw it as far as you can. He's looking. Oh, he's just going to knee it. And you know what? I don't disagree with that. Burn the clock down, but we've got overtime coming up here at Charles A. Lawson Field. But we'll be right back for it after some words right here on WNY Athletic.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home.
And we're about to have overtime here at Charles A. Lawson Field. Southwestern with 21 unanswered fourth-quarter points to tie this game. And we'll give you a reminder of how OT works in New York high school football. It's similar to college football, but the ball will be started 5 yards closer at the 20-yard line. And when it comes to the coin toss, usually the team that wins, they choose to play defense because not only do you get the ball in the second time in the first overtime, but you also get it to start the second one should that be necessary.
So, Norm, this is the first high school overtime game I have done so far in my short broadcasting career, so you're going to have to help me out a little bit. Because we know in college, in the second overtime, following a touchdown, you have to go for two.
Yes.
Does that work as well in high school, or do you have the option to still kick the extra point?
In all honesty, I'm not too certain because both overtime games I've done for WNY Athletics for football, it's only been one overtime. The first one was Jamestown against South Park for their sectional championship game, the season that was shortened by COVID just 2 years ago. Jamestown scored a touchdown, kicked the PAT. South Park, they're not known for their kicking game. They scored, went for two, won the game. And then the other overtime game I had besides this one, this year we were at McDowell. You weren't here for this game, but they were playing the Bennett Tigers. McDowell scores a touchdown in the first overtime. Bennett fails on a 4th and goal. So both of them were just one overtime.
And nothing like some backyard football, ball on the 20-yard line, condensed field. It's not like the NFL where you kick it off and you still got to go a whole field. But what a response from Southwestern, and we got to go back to where it all started, was that fumble recovery. What would you say there was? Maybe around 9.5 minutes in the fourth quarter, somewhere around there?
There was 9 minutes and 58 seconds when Cameron Lemp scored the first touchdown. Who's onside of the kick? Southwestern recovered. Then they burnt just 1 minute and 51 seconds. Pandas caught the next one. So we also got some updates. Salamanca did win their game tonight. If Fredonia wins, Fredonia would be in second place. Southwestern would be in third. Salamanca would be in first. But if the Trojans complete the comeback, it's a bit of a shuffle. Southwestern would be in first. Salamanca would be runner-up for it. And Fredonia would be in the third spot. So big implications.
Yeah, especially for the Warriors fans in this one, too. You fell short to Southwestern, but you took care of Fredonia. So a lot riding on this game, too, for Salamanca. And I don't want to get too far ahead because we do have some great overtime coming up. But Southwestern, as you know, it's senior night. Next week they travel to Allegheny Limestone next Friday, followed by a non-league matchup with Cassadaga Faulkner Maple Grove. That's going to be a good one. The other side for Fredonia, they travel to Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton next Friday. To wrap up the regular season, they will host Dunkirk. So 2 very winnable games there for Fredonia. Southwestern, you got to take care of this one because you also have a tough game coming up, 2 tough games coming up against Allegheny Limestone and the Golden Cougars.
All I know is, though, the team Fredonia is playing next. The merged Chat Lake Westfield Brockton team, it's funny. You're an alma mater of one of the high schools, and I am of the other.
It's too bad we never got to play together, Norm. I mean, you would have been a senior when you graduated, 2014?
Yes.
So, yeah, you would have been a senior when I was a freshman. So, likelihood probably not going to happen, but
unless if you were good enough to play varsity as a freshman.
Definitely was not. I can't lie to myself. I would like to think that, but I was not.
Well, here's something that's funny while we're waiting for the coin toss. my junior year, even though I've always wanted to broadcast since I was 9 years old, it didn't fully start for me until I was 17 years old, 10 years ago. I was playing varsity football for Westfield Brockton. I actually broke my arm. I had a humeral fracture right here at Southwestern. I was on kickoff unit, and I slipped, hit my back and my arm full throttle, and I had a humeral fracture, which was not humorous. And,
great wordplay.
but even so, I didn't let it get me down fully, even though I was obviously bummed out. I stuck around, did some work, helped out with varsity games, spotting the jersey numbers on who had a tackle, a catch, a reception. I did public address for Midget League and JV. So.
Contribute to the team one way or another, but
yeah.
Only one captain for each team out there. It's Matt Panis and Micah Davis.
Looks like Southwestern's won the toss, and they'll play defense. Again, if you want to play defense, you get the ball to end the first overtime, and then if necessary, you get to start the second one. That's why the teams pick defense usually on coin tosses for OT.
So once again, that puts the pressure back on Fredonia. But now in overtime especially, the kicking game comes into play well because barring any negative plays, you're handed the ball in field goal range. So even if you don't pick up a first down, it could come down to a battle between Sal Tabone and Nevis Hoos. We'll have to see what happens, but the pressure back on Fredonia to score first, because if they don't, Southwestern, any fashion of scoring field goal or touchdown, that's a W for them.
All I know is I'm expecting an exciting overtime, and these are games that you live to play for. And again, even though teams would enjoy being the victor of a blowout victory, games like these are just as great. And for me, like I've said before, they're a lot more fun to broadcast.
I've had a blast doing this so far. What was a 21-0 game? Southwestern came all the way back. And just imagine if one thing didn't go right, say they don't recover that onside kick, say they don't convert one of those fourth downs, we're not in this position because they did everything right in that fourth quarter to even get us to overtime.
So Fredonia is going to get the ball first, and there's no time limit. There's no running clock. So I got to say, Micah Davis, go back to your bread and butter. That's one of the reasons why they lost this 21-point lead.
And just to confirm, teams can kick extra points in any overtime. So even say we get to the 15th overtime, you can still kick extra points.
Well, let's hope it doesn't go to that far. Fry will look to throw. Here's the pass in the wheel route. It is caught, but he's going to get stopped right away. Looked like the pass, it didn't quite get a clean view of who it was. It looked like it was Jay Hawk who made the reception.
No, it was Tim Field again, number 12.
So how about 5 catches?
Yeah, so he's had... And Ethan Fry's done a good job of targeting the guys he doesn't get to too often because we've seen Keegan Wheatfield have a great night as well as Jameson Quinn.
Fry looking to throw, staying in the pocket, throws for the end zone. Caught! And that's a touchdown! Caught by Jameson Quinn, his second touchdown of the night. He's been the go-to guy for Ethan Fry. They do score the touchdown. And with that touchdown reception for Quinn, taking a quick look at the stat line, that is touchdown number 5 on the season, his second one of the game, and it looks like they're going to kick the extra point. So, Fredonia, they do get the lead back, 27-21, extra point by Tabone to come.
What a response from Fredonia as well. All the momentum's on the Southwestern sideline. You blew the fourth quarter, but you come out in overtime, 2 scores, strike quick. Ethan Fry finds his go-to guy on the night, Jameson Quinn. Extra point is good, but he finds Jameson Quinn across the middle, who beats his man Declan Kennedy. It was solid, good defense, but better offense. And what a response from a team that had the life force sucked out of them. Pressure back on Southwestern, and now it's do or die in overtime. But you have to think about it from the perspective of you have 4 plays to get 10 yards.
Yes, you do, and you shouldn't panic because, again, you don't have a running clock. You can take all the time in the world as long as you don't get a delay game, obviously.
And we're not going to flip the field, which you see sometimes in overtime. It's all going to happen on from our point of view is the left end zone.
And honestly, I like that. You don't want to keep moving them around 60 yards in between. Just keep it at one spot. And in college ball, that's what they usually do. But now this time, you just exchange 2-point conversions. So there is more time, though, for Walsh to get the play from Coach Burkholder. It's almost like that novel, A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best at times, it was the worst at times. It was the best of halves, or for Southwestern, it was the worst of 3 quarters. It was the best of 1 quarter,
Yeah.
And that's how we're in overtime right now. The 5th quarter here at Southwestern, and the Trojans will look to either make it number 6 or, if they want to choose to, go for 2 for the win should they get the touchdown. I am eager to see what's going to happen right here.
Fredonia, 384 yards of total offense on the night. Ethan Fry, 14 of 31, and that is now a couple of passing touchdowns for him. Up to Walsh to respond.
First down to 20, Walsh will keep it. He did run for the game-tying score. He's at the 10, and he's down at around the 7-yard line. That is enough to move the chains and make it a first down. Again, Walsh, he ran for the game-tying score late in the 4th quarter, and now they're at 1st and goal inside the 10. Ball be spotted at around the 9-yard line.
And in a play, so now you're in this position, right? You're inside the 10-yard line. You have to be smart. If you're the ball carrier, you protect that. You can't carry it like a loaf of bread. If you're Jamison Walsh, a play breaks down. You roll out to the side, but if it doesn't work out, you got to throw it away. You cannot take a sack in this situation. That puts you in a very costly stage if you were to lose, say, 10 yards on that play.
But the good news is for Southwestern, it is a 1st and goal, an 11-yard gain by Walsh, and Southwestern, they're not going gently into that good night. It'll be 1st and goal at the 9 as both teams are going to get some water, hydrate up. The first month of high school football around here, some games it was so humid, we had several players go down at points due to cramping.
And now it's cold. I mean, I've been shivering all game, but I was sitting down in the first half just so I could see my papers earlier. But ever since that first touchdown from Southwestern, I haven't been able to sit down because by far the most exciting game I have ever been a part of. And Southwestern, back within striking distance of either tying this game up or if they just want to go for the money ball, go for the 2 and win, but they got to get 6 first.
First down and goal for the Trojans. 2-back set for Walsh. 3 wideouts, and it's going to be a keeper. Swinging it over to the 5, breaks a couple tackles. He's down at around the 3-yard line. So great chunk of yardage there by Jamison Walsh, showing off his days as the running back Wildcat quarterback before becoming the starting QB.
And I understand the play calling from Coach Burkholder because those quarterback runs have been working here in the second half. And with the way that Fredonia's defensive line has been able to get pressure, they don't want to do anything too risky, especially in a condensed field like this in backyard football, risking an interception. You're in a goal-to-go situation here. You literally have 4 plays, 10 yards to score a touchdown. They get 5 right there. So now it's 2nd and goal. And it just keep chipping away slowly. I expect to see another run here.
And bad snap! And it looks like Fredonia got it! And they did! And that's the ball game! The Hillbillies survive! They overcome, giving up 21 unanswered. The Hillbillies win in overtime, 28-21 on a mishandled snap on 2nd and goal, at the 3. A mishandled snap. Fredonia recovers, and that's the ball game. But what a valiant 4th quarter, though, by Southwestern. They need to keep their heads up high. That Walsh with a heck of a performance, and also Ethan Fry's completion percentage, this is something they can be positive about. It was less than 50%.
Yeah, and you got to tip your hats to Southwestern for an amazing comeback. I know Walsh is very upset right now, but he played hearts out in that game. 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. He could not have done better, and he gave his team a fighting chance. I know he's going to be upset with himself on that one, but a miraculous comeback by Southwestern. Nonetheless, Fredonia striking back in overtime after giving up 3 touchdowns. Ethan Fry remaining with composure in the pocket, finding his go-to guy, Jameson Quinn, and Norm, this was one for the ages. A reminder of the upcoming schedule. Southwestern travels to Allegheny Limestone next Friday, then traveling for a non-league game against Cassadaga-Faulkner Maple Grove on the 21st. For the Hillbillies, they're going to take on the Thunderbirds, Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton away next Friday, followed by closing out the regular season versus Dunkirk. So with the standings, Norm, do you want to explain again one more time for the listeners where that puts everyone?
So with the win by Fredonia,
we're just talking with our crew right now to get the standings of where that puts everyone right now.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the update on that. Just a little bit of difficulty on that, so we do apologize.
So Salamanca's right now, they sit in first, followed by Fredonia, and then Southwestern in third. So coming into this game, how it really flipped, Fredonia moves up a spot, Southwestern drops 2, and Salamanca, after losing to Southwestern last week, they get crowned, and they are now the top spot in C-South.
And with that, once more, the final score in overtime, Fredonia the victor, 28-21, along with Colin Wood and our producers, Jeremy Becker and Alex Kolsty. I'm Norm Rodriguez saying you've been watching this matchup right here on WNY Athletics. Till next time.
Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
I love being home.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.